free my mind. Follow the light of a world that's blind. In your eyes I see there's a place for me. There's a place 1974. Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're gone, I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it.
Welcome in everyone to NECC Marvel Rivals Collegiate. I'm Vaudable, we got Shibby here, and we have a great selection of games for you today. Some Division 4, some Division 3. It's going to be a spectacle to say the least here, Shibby.
Yeah, really excited. More NECC Marvel Rivals action. I got my 1 week break. Thank you, NECC, as I'm back on here for week 6. And yeah, I'm really interested to see. We're rounding towards those playoff matchups very, very soon. Nationals is bending around the corner, about a couple months. There's a lot to be excited for, a lot to play for. You know, and I'm really interested to see what these teams are willing to pull out. Because 6 weeks in, you can't be experimenting anymore, right? You can't be trying to figure out what your best characters are, what your best heroes are. You've got to have your compositions down, the meta understood until it changes next week, and then, you know, figure it out all over again.
Exactly. It's going to be a great time. The good thing, though, is that the way the NECC works is that you aren't necessarily going to have to play the new hero immediately. You have that 2-week buffer. So that'll be nice. I wonder if they're going to bring Shin Shibuya back into the NECC map pool. That's a big question for me on that one. I really hope they made some changes here, Shibby, and aren't just like throwing it to the wolves for pro play and all that. But speaking of a different kind of dog, we have the NIU Husky Gaming Red here versus SAU, St. Ambrose University Esports as well. It's Pro Skill, Simmer, Dr. Eggs Benedict, great name. Robo Dragon, Mr. Zert, and Joker Jester. Pretty good on that one.
Yeah. And for SAU Esports, we've got Kinza, Sky, Bumpy Kind, IDK, Domination 21, Bebop 44, and Menace. And yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there, Vaudable. Dr. Eggs Benedict, by far the best name. This is one of my favorite parts about casting collegiate, whether it's Rivals, League, whatever you want to call it. The names and the IGNs are some of the most fun and most creative we have out there. Dr. Eggs Benedict, you get my vote for the best collegiate name of this series. And I like to see if one of these teams can potentially pick up their first win, Vaudable, because from my knowledge, both of these guys have been struggling a little bit in the NECC bracket.
A little bit, yeah. So on the side of SAU Esports, they are 1-4, and for Husky Gaming Red, 0-4. So one of these teams is going to be doing much better after this matchup. So that'll be huge for both of these squads. Again, trying to turn their season around. Still a couple weeks of action to go for it specifically. I actually want to see exactly how many weeks we have left here as well. We're in like, what, week 6 you said it was here? So we have one more week of action.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not going to be making playoffs, but hey, this is your chance. Get that one win and be like, hey, we got something to write home about. Look forward to the fall semester afterwards and go on out from then on out. But it is going to be Burnin' T'Challa, it looks like we have for our first random domination map. As a reminder, if you haven't been tuning in for the last couple weeks, what are you doing? We do random dom here now, as before we used to have a ban and protect. Or not ban and protect, but more of like a ban, and then you just choose for which map you wanted for domination beforehand. So I like the random side of it. That's typically how it's been going in like more of the pro levels of competition, MRC as well. So it mirrors that a little bit better, Shibby.
Yeah, and last week or last Tuesday, we had Elsa Bloodstone finally enabled, right? It takes 2 weeks for a new hero or a new map to actually get, you know, approved or, you know, at least figured out before NECC puts it into their competitive timeline. So I'm really interested to see if we're going to see Elsa bans. Right now, a lot of pro teams, scrims and stuff like that, they've kind of figured out what the S tier heroes are, right? It's Groot, it's Vanguard, Deadpool, it's Elsa, it's Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix is still very, very good. Like, those are some of the best. Cloak and Dagger has been rising in popularity. Obviously, Double Terror Cape is disgusting.
Luna Snow's
Invisible
been seeing
Woman.
some resurgence too, actually.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we've been
DPS
seeing
Luna.
a lot more people kind of going Luna Snow Loki instead of Invis sometimes as well. Also because Invis gets banned a lot too, so we might see some changes with that. But yeah, getting rid of the Gambit. Again, this is MRC bans. So if you ban something, it's banned for everyone. And if you save something, it's saved for everyone. So Punisher, they're locking that one down. I mean, if you're playing Punisher, you might want to ban a Magneto if you are SAU Esports, just so you don't have to worry about kind of the counter to your ultimate there with the Judge, Jury, Executioner. But I'm really curious on what Husky are going to focus on. They're actually going for damage boost with Mantis. Okay, I mean, I'd ban Loki if I was SAU. You don't want Loki, Mantis, and then a third strategist at that point.
Adam or something disgusting like that.
Adam too.
Also,
yeah, we've been seeing a lot more Adam.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to play Mag into Punisher now, right? Because Punisher got that ult buff not too long ago.
Yeah,
he's building it so much faster than Magnetos are able to build Meteor M. It's pretty much like a 1.5 to 1 build ratio. So by the time you get your first ultimate, Punisher is already going to be working towards his second one. So you've got to commit strat ultimates to it now. And that's the same thing with kind of like Star-Lord. He got that 300 buff as well to his ultimate charge cost, as Strange is going to be removed. I like taking Portal out. I love taking shields out of the game in general. It opens up a lot of opportunities for your hit scan, right? Your hit scan duelist to get some work done. And if you're saving the Punisher, you're right, Vaudable. Why not ban the Magneto?
I think the big thing here too, though, is why a lot of people are also focusing on Strange bans more is because of that team up with Invisible Woman, right? Because he can get the extra healing, he can pull people in with his dark magic, and then we see people just straight out rocking a dry Doctor Strange if they want to. So seeing the protect, though, on the Magneto, I mean, if you aren't going to ban it, you're focusing on Strange instead, it is going to be locked in by Husky Gaming Red at that time. Getting rid of one of the Poke sisters, though, Enid the Hella, so no Hella Namor. Namor's also been doing pretty good by themselves that we've been seeing a couple times here as well. I mean, really risen through the ranks, especially with less reliance on those team ups and just more damage boosted to the Monstro spawns that they have as well.
Yeah, it's okay. Season 7, Namor's going to get gun squids with Deadpool. All the squids will be able to start shooting Desert Eagle bullets. That's exactly what I'm
so funny.
It would be pretty crazy. Invis ban coming in to round everything out. So the strategist pool looking a little pinched here. No Gambit, no Invis, no Loki. We could see a triple stat coming out from Husky Gaming here. Mantis, I presume, Cloak and Dagger is up on the board. And, you know, like you mentioned, that Luna Snow potentially on the board here. The Emma save is very interesting. Simply because if I'm saving Emma, I'm really never worried about a Doctor Strange. All the best Emma players are very good at controlling the space and controlling the Doctor Strange. But like you mentioned, that team up can be a bit annoying at times here. And Menace has locked in that Luna Snow. And there's Rocket coming in. And I like this Angela. Angela Moon Knight is a different version of Groot Moon Knight. You can still combo the Heaven's Retribution plus the Hand of Khonshu and wipe away everybody on the board. But why play that when Groot is actually available? It has skipped the ban phase completely.
I like the Rocket Raccoon here as well. I'm wondering if they're just using it for the jetpack and just for the extra shields at the start, and if they're going to swap off. If not, kind of a bit of an unorthodox backline from SAU Esports on their end. And, you know, Rocket Raccoon, a lot of people do love playing them in general. The Cosmic Iron Amplifier, very effective, especially with that overhealth that you get and the damage too, and especially with the damage focus that we see from their duelist lineup. It'll be working out pretty well for them there, so we'll see what the strategy is coming out from that side. Husky Gaming Red, though, a bit more of an orthodox composition that we see from them.
Yeah, see the Bucky, we see the Mantis and Adam composition coming out along with Cloak and Dagger. It's a very standard triple support. Now, I don't know, I'm not a particular fan of Adam on Domination. I feel like it takes a long time for them to get their ultimate staggered up, and Sky Spark on this Moon Knight is going to have a lot of free bounces here, and already has built up the Hand of Khonshu and throws it onto pretty much everybody here. Yeah, good luck playing Groot and triple strategist into a Moon Knight, man.
Yeah, it's just really going to feed their ultimate the 100% of the way, and that's exactly what we saw win them that fight. But looking on the other side, even with that, I mean, we don't have anyone necessarily close enough to getting their ultimates for Husky Gaming Red. I mean, SAU Esports won that with a single ult, and then have the Punisher ultimate coming online pretty soon. Yeah, they don't have the strategist ultimates yet, but they still have the benefit of the doubt in the next team fight, depending on if Dr. Eggs Benedict gets theirs going. But there's the Judge, Jury, and Executioner from Kinza coming through. See if they can get a single pick, that'd be a huge conversion, but right now it seems to be a bit wasted, but we do see the Moon Knight coming out instead, as everyone is just grouped up in that corner. Perfect for them to get damage, and already 80% to their next ultimate.
Can they get Agent Moon Knight out here? Nice bubble coming in from Domination there. Karmic Revival is online, gets thrown, everybody gets res back, but there's another Hand of Khonshu waiting for you at the choke point. So that animal, completely useless. We are going to see Simmer pop the Mantis here. Maybe that's going to allow him to push on out, but here we see Rocket using the CYA, and it's just... Yeah, it's just unloading so much damage in this composition.
Oh, no.
On top of that, it's a rocket-boosted Moon Knight. Somebody's got to do something about this guy.
Oh, man. You can see why SAU Esports have been able to eke out a win up to this point in time, and Husky Gaming might have been struggling a little bit. Again, composition looks great, but unfortunately for them, they just didn't have the ultimates to work with, and when you're finding yourself in this kind of a chokehold against the Moon Knight, it might be better to split up a little bit, go a different direction, flank around, choose someone who can flank maybe. I mean, we see Mr. Zert having the Star-Lord. That could be an option for them, but another Hand of Khonshu, that's the third that we've seen. Having Retribution, unfortunately, didn't get the combo that they were wanting for it, so not the best conversion from it. There is struggling Prison, though, and they have all the shields necessary to stay alive.
Maggle coming in, huge dunks onto both Menace and Sky Spark, and a nice little back cap coming out from Mr. Zert, who says, you know what? I'm done playing Adam. I'm done playing support. I'm going to lock in Star-Lord here and just look to completely wipe away SAU Esports, who don't have an ultimate for this upcoming Legendary. And that's a big momentum swing if they could get that early team fight win. 33% and counting. Domination is just one of those game modes, specifically on these sub-maps, where you lose 2 team fights in a row, you might just lose the round.
It's such a tough spot to find themselves in as well, but it is nice that they were able to complete at least some percentage for the objective here. I like the positioning actually going below, but unfortunately for them, they can't survive long enough. Scattered around and suffocated by the damage that is coming out from their counterpoints in SAU Esports. And you're right, no teleport because of that ban that came out from SAU. They knew, hey, if we can lock things down, we could send them back to the spawn room enough. They can't come back with an easy entry onto the objective, and starting to look even better for them going onto the Imperial Institute of Science.
SAU just have such a high DPS composition. I mean, Moon Knight, Punisher, it kind of can't get worse unless someone decides to drop a Storm in here on top of that just to get that extra damage boost. So that triple strategist composition that Husky were kind of married to, at least the first, what, we'll say half, if not 75% of that first map, got absolutely trounced here. You don't really have an answer for a lot of these Moon Knight ultimates as well. You mentioned Vaudable flanking around, taking an alternate path. The best thing I've seen to answer Moon Knight has been dive, funnily enough. Something, you know, like a Psylocke, something like a Venom, some sort of combo that you can go. Even an Angela has been really good.
3, 2,
I hope we
At
see
just keeping
something from them.
all you need to do is capture the
Yeah,
mission.
exactly. I do like the Vanguard pool coming out here from Robo Dragon. That's massive, the tank pool that we've seen a couple times. Jeff also more of kind of like a divey strategist that we've seen as well, so that might work out better in their favor. But just those two as strategists, I don't know is the best option, especially the Mantis here, because Mantis does not have any mobility to their name, so they're just going to be kind of taking a piece apart from that back line. But look at all the ultimates in favor of SCU Esports. I honestly think they have a bit of the edge. You do have the Hunter Sight available for Dr. X Benedict, so we'll see if that does come through, but they unfortunately are the first victim to that Moon Knight ultimate.
Yeah, I don't think you can melee the Hand of Khonshu.
No, unfortunately.
Legendary does get popped. Meteor M, unfortunately, not going for that swing. And yeah, Mr. Zert, again, not having those strategist ultimates. As I say that, though, CYA does get used, but it's a little too late, right? It's way too late. So Husky Gaming actually get on to point first. They're able to speed their way in with the Jeff Bubbles and take control despite SAU having the high ground. That's just really good ultimate advantage. Eggs Benedict, though, is getting pushed out of spawn, and yeah, Menace takes him down here.
See if the Jeff comes out at some point. I haven't seen the Pumpkin Jeff in quite some time. A little bit off season, but I respect it. So many different costumes that you can rock here as well. But either way, Husky Gaming Red. I think the big thing that they need to focus on here is some way to initiate with these ultimates. I mean, Dr. X Benedict's been holding on to that Hunter Sight for such a long time, too. Now that the Moon Knight ultimate has been baited out, you have the Judge, Jury, Executioner, so you do need to find some way to deal with it. Unfortunately for them, though, there's so much healing around them. Just a bit of a focus on the back line. The Luna Snow is going to get taken out for now. They can't focus them down, and unfortunately you cannot go up on the little boost back, and they do manage to escape. Oh, that's just the way that the scenery works sometimes when you are in your ultimate for Jeff. I understand that mishap there.
No duck skin. Not understanding how the jump pack works. Yeah, this Jeff, I don't know, Joker. How much Jeff do you really play? I'm a bit of a connoisseur myself, so disappointed. I mean, it was a tough ultimate, especially because you're trying to use it to counter, or at least use the healing pool to try to counter the Punisher ult. But when comboed with that Heaven's Retribution, it is just a little too tough. And unfortunately, like you mentioned, Eggs Benedict does get taken down, has been holding onto that Hunter's Sight, like you said, for a very long time. Might not even be able to get to use it this round. 85% and counting for SAU Esports, and they're trying to make this a quick 1-0.
Yeah, SAU, I mean, breaking our streak again. Last time we had, pretty much sweeps across the board. Usually we've had some pretty close affairs in terms of matchups, but SAU looking to be the masters of their own destiny in this one, and we'll see if the Hunter Sight comes through. But the problem is that Dr. X Benedict, no heals to be seen around them, so thankfully the Jeff does come out of the play a little bit. You did have the Eternal Bond from Simmer 5K, so that does allow them to walk onto the objective and at least get some percentage before it is completely captured by SAU Esports. But SAU are happy to give this up. You have the Moon Knight about to get their ultimate again. You have the Cosmos Amplifiers. You could have it be damage boosted too. You have the Punisher almost have theirs as well for the Final Judgment. Yeah, I mean, you have all the cards on the table. You're just ready to let your hand out and get the whole pot for yourself in this domination matchup. And the big thing is going to come down to how Husky Gaming Red uses their ultimates in this next team fight. If they cannot win with at least just 1 or 2 pops and have to use all of them, I think they're going to lose this map.
And if Khonshu comes in, takes down Eggs Benedict, and again, still hasn't had the chance to use that Hunter's Mark. Legendary does get thrown in, but unfortunately, Menace is ready, pops the Luna Snow Ult, and Final Judgment as the piece de resistance, the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, however you want to say it. SAU Esports are going to take this map 2-0 and bump themselves up to a 1-0 score in this best of 3. Or, sorry, best of 5, first of 3.
First map goes the way of SAU Esports in a pretty dominant fashion, I'd say. I mean, Husky Gaming Red, they had inklings of greatness, right? And we're in Division 4, right? This isn't going to be the top level competition that you see. There's some things to work on from everyone. But honestly, SAU Esports, I'm kind of surprised that they've only gotten a single win so far. Maybe just goes to show how tough the competition is in Marvel Rivals for Collegiate. But it could also all come down to, composition-wise. If you ban the Moon Knight, kind of nerfs them a lot, right? If you ban the Punisher, also nerfs them a lot. That backline too, if you get rid of the Rocket Raccoon, that might be their main hero that they play, right? And if that is the case, then you're kind of left without really good focus on that strategist lineup, right? And that's typically what we see here with the lower ranks in these kind of collegiate competitions. They don't have as big of a hero pool that they can play. If you notice one person kind of leaning to a single hero, not swapping off, especially when they're not doing well, if you target that hero, you're pretty much set to go in the next maps. And that's probably what happened to SAU in their losses leading up to their 1-4 that they're currently at. But hey, if they continue like this, Shibby, they'll look pretty good to go at 2-4 to end off week 6 and look to almost go positive for that final week of competition next week. But even then, I mean, Husky Gaming, I think the big thing for them is just getting out of their comfort zone, right? I know you want to hold on to that ultimate as long as you can and find the perfect time to use it, but you're wasting any chances for you to get more ultimates and more effective plays from it if you don't use it, and that's exactly what we saw happen there, unfortunately, for the Hawkeye.
Yeah, I think it's tough. Both of the SAU Esports duelists have had equal amounts of final hits as the whole of Husky Gaming Red. They both equaled out at 12 final hits apiece. That Moon Knight, devastating. You can clearly see why they ended up banning the Doctor Strange, because a double shield comp would have been relatively effective, especially into Moon Knight and Punisher, but removing that Doctor Strange off the board, as well as the Invisible Woman, right? That's really key, because Invisible Boundary is very good at, negating either the Final Judgment or the Hand of Khonshu. So I really like that play. I don't think you have to change their bans up too much. Husky Gaming Red, though, maybe they might put some emphasis on that early Doctor Strange, but if you save that for yourselves, then that indicates that SAU is just going to ban that Magneto. So you're only ever going to have one shield available into that Moon Knight. So maybe you take away the Moon Knight, because I feel like they don't really know how to deal with it. They were kind of just mindlessly running into what was the meat grinder of the Hand of Khonshu, of the Punisher, and just kind of taking a ton of damage.
I think the problem here too, Shibby, is we saw them ban 2 of the most popular duelists, right, that we've seen, which is the Phoenix and the Hela, which makes me worry they banned those for a reason, right? If they let those free, I don't worry about playing Moon Knight. I could play one of those 2 more busted heroes that are out there, right? So it's if you let one thing through, then when you play against someone who has a deep hero pool, it makes it that much more difficult, right? So we could see a scenario with that as well. But I feel like those have more counters than a Moon Knight based on the playstyle we saw from the Huskies. So maybe it would work out better in the long run if they do focus on those instead, because of how much burst damage there is from the Moon Knight, and the ultimates, I think, were really the biggest thorn in their side, right? So a couple different options that they could go for in terms of their strategy for the bans and protects on this one, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think the reluctance to play either the Phoenix or the Hela as well might indicate something a little bit more dire, right? I mean, typically, if you're banning those away, you're either not confident on your hit scan playing that or against another enemy Hela or a Phoenix, or you prefer playing other stuff, which we did see Zert on that Star-Lord do some work. I think after he swapped away from the Atom, his legendaries were pretty good. His ability to challenge the Moon Knight and the Punisher was good on those off angles or some of those high ground angles, but yeah, it's tough when you're just kind of holding your Hawkeye ultimate. You're looking for the perfect pick. We didn't really see too many Hawkeye snipes as well. Typically, the best thing about Hawkeye is that you can end a fight before it really starts. You look for the head of the support, or you look for the head of one of those, low HP DPSs, and you just try to go for that headshot with the fully charged Mark there. Wasn't really able to find those either, so he's kind of just shooting into the wind, and like you mentioned, didn't really get to use the Hunter's Mark, but that's because I will say SAU's Magneto was holding on to the Meteor M, even opting to hold it during the enemy Cloak and Dagger ultimate. Essentially saying like, hey, if you ever pop that Hunter's Mark, I'm just going to drop this on your head.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it as a Magneto. And honestly, the Protect for the Mag worked against the Huskies that we saw there, right?
Yeah.
We saw the Emma Protect from the other side, but I think they expected the Mag ban to come out instead because of the way they were playing into it too. But I don't know. They had a couple different options. SAU, I think the biggest focus, maybe if you don't feel as confident targeting their duelist lineup, maybe you could target their back line a little bit more. Get rid of that Rocket Raccoon so you don't have the damage boost from the Cosmic Iron Amplifier and the extra bonus health that they get from it as well. So couple of different things that they can go for. I think the Luna Snow also is just such a good counter to kind of dive that we've seen as well, especially with the freeze that they have. So a couple of different things we could see from that too. But Hall of Dajalia will be our next map here for Convergence. I'm excited to see this. I mean, it's always a fun map. We've seen a lot of full holds at the start, so I'm interested to see which side that SAU opts for as the map was selected by Husky Gaming Red, since they were the ones who lost. That's how it goes here for these first to threes, as we like to call them, because it could go more than 3 or more than 5 technically, excuse me, based on how draws and all that happen. Thankfully, we haven't seen one of those yet, Shibby.
I got one with CB, I think
did?
in week 2 or 4 or something. We did end up getting a draw on a map, and it was fine because it was 2-1, and then it was a draw, and then the 2-1 team ended up winning map 5.
So it wasn't technically 6 maps then. So
no,
you're good.
It wasn't 6 maps,
you
but the
safe.
potential was there. Yeah, the potential was there for sure. And realistically, I think it would be insane because the statistical likelihood of a draw with both teams being so equally matched, I mean, it's tough. Like, I rarely see that. Even in the highest levels of play, how many draws did we see in Pro Play and Ignite?
So I know at least for Asia, there was one that was a map 8.
yeah.
They went to
That's
map
crazy.
8 in like one of the finals for stage 1, I think it was. But aside from that, like we maybe saw like 1 or 2. I'd have to ask Moxie. Like she's the greatest at looking at all the stats for all that stuff. She'd go back to every single VOD of every single region to make stats for all of Ignite last year. I think almost done with stage 1, which is insane to think about. But we do have Hall of Dajalia here for SAU versus Husky Gaming Red. Husky Gaming looking for a bounce back to tie things up 1-1. Domination doesn't tell the full story of a series, but what does tell the story is depending on how these bans and protects go.
I think I just played against Kinza earlier today in solo queue. I'm like, wait, he's Celeste. I'm like, why does that name look so familiar? I gotta ask him. I was like, wait a minute, did I throw his game? Did I toss it? My bad. Anyways,
give him his MR back, Guang Guang.
My bad. Yeah, give him the point compensation. Take it all from me. Give it back to him. I apologize if I tossed your game. I was just looking to jam some games before NECC. I played like 2, and I lost 1, won 1, and I'm like scarily like, wait, was he in my game? Like that name looks familiar. I like the Invis Protect as well. We mentioned how good it is at negating a lot of what Final Judgment and Hand of Conchu likes to do. That big AoE circle, and they're gonna go ahead and top it off with a Moon Knight ban. I love that. So you're going to force him onto something else here. Are they going to go for a high DPS composition? Are they, Moon Knight players tend to also Moonlight as a Squirrel Girl player. So I'm interested to see if they're going to go for something more projectile-based.
We're not seeing Squirrel
You never
Girl.
know. Hey, this Division 4, anything can happen.
That's true. Anything can happen in these matchups, but I think we will potentially see the Loki lock in some way. That was banned out second from Husky Gaming Red last time. So, I mean, we've seen so much Loki play, especially on this map, to say the least. Because you have so many different like high positions that you can focus up on that first spawn as well. You can kind of be like right by the left embankment area that you can just be on the high ground there as well. So,
unbreakable terrain.
Spots you could be. A Cloak and Dagger lock-in, though, from Husky Gaming Red. I don't think we would have seen a ban on Cloak and Dagger, but maybe as we were talking about, that might be one of the focuses for the hero pool of the strategist lineup of Husky Gaming Red. They just want to lock down their backline, which I respect on that side. Last time we didn't really see much of a ban on that end. It's set for the Invisible Woman and the Gambit, but they are just continuing to get rid of the Poke Sisters, and I get it, especially on this map. I mean, they're very lethal.
Yeah, specifically Hella, right? When you get to that second point and they can control that high ground area.
Well, Hella
it can be
Namor even,
really
like,
tough.
ugh.
Yeah, Hella Namor, a lot of the different angles that they can play, like you mentioned, squid angles and stuff like that.
Ooh,
Surprise,
that's
no
huge.
Loki bans. I love the Star-Lord ban into Mr. Zerk because that's kind of the only hero that could really challenge a lot of these more off-angle duelists that SAU has been playing. Angela, I love. We've seen a lot of Angela composition. We've seen Angela dive specifically, right? Angela Daredevil has been super. Yeah, Angela Daredevil has been super popular here. Daredevil has taken kind of a back seat, not necessarily because of the nerfs he got all seasons ago.
So many
There's
things.
just so much other stuff.
Yeah, so much other stuff to play, and I think also even back then there hasn't been as many people like focusing on learning Daredevil because they got banned so often, right? So it's like, why should I learn this hero if they're gonna get banned all the time? I should focus on my other heroes in my hero pool and get better with those, and really don't get as much experience with that Daredevil. I think Daredevil is good though, especially on defense, because you could get that initial scouting on exactly what the other team is playing and then let your team know what to expect here. But this is an interesting lineup for SAU Esports. So they're going with the Punisher Bucky bread and butter that we saw season 0. And then
with infinite ammo.
Yeah, I remember that with the Rocket Raccoon. Unfortunately not available anymore, but hey, I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, another kind of like pseudo high damage composition, right? Bucky obviously has the ability to do a ton of damage. I like the fact that they're not just taking out the bridge; they're taking out pretty much all the terrain that you can hide under, so you can get as much poke down as possible. But yeah, a little bit of a wacky composition coming out from SAU Esports. Rocket Mantis damage boosting the Punisher and the Bucky just to burn through whatever Husky's willing to run, who is opting in for the Vanguard pool, which is the strongest variant. And I'm just trying to confirm with production if Elsa is actually enabled, because everyone should be picking it. Oh, whoa.
What a kidnap. Maybe a little bit laggy on that one, but you kidnap them to the other team. So maybe not the best strategy on that one, but Mr. Zerk does get revived here as well. So we'll see them get back in it to the fray at this time. I'm surprised nobody's playing Loki though. I mean, it went through. That's typical to what you see with these lineups is, you know, Loki and Luna, Loki and Invis. Even Loki Cloak and Dagger we've been seeing played a lot more even. So I don't know, maybe just wanted to play the dry dual strategist lineup on both ends, which I respect.
I'm not sure how much value this Wolverine's gonna get into SAU's composition here. Punisher's never ever going to be in range unless he goes full Pirate King Momo and decides to shotgun them. This final judgment is gonna come in, and you look at that. Look at Pro skill, by the way. He's 67% towards his Meteor M, and unfortunately this Cloak and Dagger ultimate comes out a little late here. CYA right behind the wall, so you can't even really push forward. There's just so much damage the moment you peek out of that doorway. Nice little kidnap, though. Robo Dragon is going to drop the Banhammer. Hopefully it can get some sort of confirmation, but Husky Gaming are just kind of stuck here. Last stand, though, onto Kinza, and I mentioned he shouldn't be in range. That's one of the only ways they can jump onto each other, as he is going to get res here. So it's still a 6v6 onto the point. As I say that, though, Bumpy and Sky are looking to play cleanup.
We even saw the Rocket get involved. It's not going to be a no-damage Rocket here. They actually were able to get a KO themselves. So massive pickups from SAU Esports and shutting things down again. And this is what I was expecting, should be them to go defense. They felt really confident defending the point a couple times. I mean, they gave it up when they had to and didn't use any resources on domination. So it wasn't a perfect sweep for those two capture points. They don't really care about that. They want the sweep in the series. They want to go 2-4 and look even better towards next semester. Yes, they can't make the playoffs, but that doesn't matter to them. Every win is going to be glory for their program. And apparently, according to our production team, SAU, one of the longest standing members of NECC, so good to see them show up on the broadcast here.
Love that. Final judgment comes in. Unfortunately, Pro Skill cannot find the confirmation. Meteor Ram gets whiffed. Armed and Dangerous, kind of as a last gasp whimper, even some would say, because it's not really going to do much. Simmer, though, does have the Eternal Bond available. Domination, like we said, pop that Meteor M. So there is a world where Husky Gaming do have a contest here. They don't have any other ultimates, and Bumpy, CYA available. There is a very scary situation where CYA gets popped as the Cloak and Dagger ultimate's coming in, and Kinza just decides to whip out the shotgun and one pump Simmer right in the face in that Eternal Bond.
And not having the portal again just makes it so difficult for Husky Gaming Red. They immediately have to go into the oncoming
what a pull
fire from SAU, and that was a massive pull from Sky Spark. We've been looking for a couple of those too, and we do have the Eternal Bond coming out. The shotgun, though, see, that'll be enough to counter. Unfortunately, didn't get the hits that they were looking for there, but there is going to be the Banhammer coming out yet again from Robo Dragon, trying to shut down the Mantis. As you can see right below their health bar, there's a little bit of an indicator. It's like a play button that shows you who has been selected by. I wish they would add it to the actual UI at the top so you can see a little bit better, but we do have the final stand, last stand going here as well. Got a 2, getting 3, looking for 4. Can they get it? The kidnap comes through. There's another goal.
Wow!
There's a penta from Mr. Zert.
Ooh, Wolverine coming up huge after that last stand, and fight went out kind of exactly like we anticipated, right? Simmer 5K with the Cloak and Dagger ultimate, not having that answer because Domination decided to use his Meteor Ram early, is going to prolong what was a near perfect defense for SAU up until the final fight. 2.5 more minutes to capture point 2 to get themselves some more time in that bank, but overall very good hold. And IDK, ooh, playing one of my favorite heroes, but I don't know, ill-advised into what is a Bucky and a Wolverine.
I respect it. They're having fun at this point.
A nice deep freeze.
That's what we like to see. IDK also just trying to bait things out. I think they're also trying to see if they can like use the bubble against the Wolverine here as well, just so that can protect them and protect the Bucky from those kidnaps. Didn't really time it as well as they would have liked to, but you know, we have the water gun coming out yet again from Kinza. Does get the KOs on to front line of Husky Gaming Red, but look at all those ultimates in the bank. They still have some stuff to work with, and honestly, I feel like it might have been better to use some of those in this fight to continue to get some ground against SU Esports, because they're going to have theirs built up in a moment's notice, and it'll just be an ult-off between these two squads.
Yeah, Menace swapped out of the Mantis, is now back on the Luna, so it should give SAU Esports a little bit more sustainability, a little more sticking power. IDK, Monster Hulk is available. Kinza, you just saw pop his final judgment not too long ago. And by the way, Vaudable, yeah, that ultimate charge cost buff surely is not busted. Last stand does come in here. Unfortunately, throws it down onto a CYA, so all that extra bonus health is going to keep them alive. Monster Hulk in the background. Eternal Bond does get used, and Unarmed and Dangerous looking for a target, looking for an elim. Pro skill, though, lands the Meteor M onto Menace, who was in her Luna Snow ultimate. Fight could go over to the side of Husky Gaming Red. SAU Esports have to back off. Kinza, though, does have final judgment. Joker has got to be on point with his Invis boundary. And yeah, you saw that exile. Let's see if maybe IDK can force it out of Invis before the final judgment, but here it is.
Yeah, they're trying their best to force that ultimate through, but it completely ruins this plan of Kinza. And there's been counter after counter after counter from Husky Gaming Red, and they are not stopping their momentum forward. Eventually, we do see the Hulk get back into the fray. We need a bit more target acquisition from the other side, but
got it.
I really do like this play that's coming out. Robo Dragon really knowing who to put the Banhammer on at the right time for the backline. Again, that's what makes it difficult when you're playing double strategist into a Vanguard pool, because you don't really have too many options, but the Kraken Impact coming in this time from Sky Spark does stop them in the track. Still a minute remaining for them.
Whoa!
If they can get the reset, you definitely want to back off. You do not want to give them that reset.
Okay, interesting use of the Armed and Dangerous. Yeah, Robo Dragon's been pretty good. Nice pull! Whoa! The express train into the enemy team! Here comes the CYA. Everyone's got to back off on the side of Husky Gaming Red, or at least trying to stall. Sky Spark does get pulled. Last stand onto the Angela! And Mr. Zert! Who are you, man?
Fortunately, the Armed and Dangerous didn't work that time from Dr. Expanded, but getting so much more value just from creating space for their team with these ultimates than we saw with the Hawkeye on Domination. Honestly, I wish they went Bucky that go around instead. I'd have had some better options for their team and better usages of their ultimate there as well. So Husky Gaming Red, where we thought they were going to get full health, they have turned things around one step at a time. That's where you can never underestimate your opponents. I'm starting to see the cracks in SAU esports where they get pushed back and they kind of just start going in individually. I mean, that's what we just saw there from IDK on the Angela. Didn't really have a strategy, tried to go for a kidnap and didn't work out as well as they would like. And now they're just popping ultimates for the sake of popping ultimates.
Yeah, and it gets matched. Cloak and Dagger coming out from Husky Gaming Red. Eternal Bond is going to keep them alive. Skyspark cannot find an Elin. Dr. Eggs Benedict takes down Kinza, and duelists left and right for SAU have gone down. Menace does pop the Luna Snow ultimate. CYA is on top. Another last stand from Mr. Zerd. Unfortunately, throws that into the CYA, and finally Bumpy does go down. IDK as well is taken away, and SAU esports are just trickling into this fight. And every single final fight, every single overtime fight from Husky Gaming Red has resulted in them getting a point. And it doesn't matter if you lose every single one before that, because if you can get the 3 points, you're back at square one.
What looked like it was going to be a full hold was anything but from Husky Gaming Red. Rallied behind each other. Mr. Zert, really the savior of the series and this game specifically for them. That last stand we saw getting the Penta, which really was the cherry on top for them to move forward, and then they rallied behind everything since then. Robo Dragon, of course, great ban hammers. I mean, it just goes to show how good Vanguard Pool really is in this game. You can just put that on the strategist, make it so that they can't heal their team, and because of how much of a focus there is on the heals from the strategist in this game, getting rid of half your heals really nerfs a team. And I'm surprised we didn't see like a triple strategist lineup from SAU as a counter, because that would have been the way to go. Unfortunately for them, it seems like they might just have 2 strategist players, not someone who can flex.
Domination as well, not having the best of times there. Was pretty much stuck on mag duty for the whole match. 6 and 6 is tough. Especially because the rest of your team is doing relatively fine. I mean,
too, right?
Yeah, like it's not fun. It's definitely not fun. Pro Skill not doing too much better. 9 and 6 on the mag. Both mag players kind of being left out to dry here, simply because that's the nature of Magneto. Sometimes, like all you really can do. Yeah, you just bubble. You try to do what you can, but most of the time, it's your duelists that are going to be the difference maker. What can they do with the bubbles? What can they do with the shields that you're providing? I love this angle coming out from SAU, though, just to go straight to the top.
Yeah, changing it up, a little bit different style for them, playing the high ground. Might see some kidnaps come out pretty soon, though. Robo Dragon already halfway to their ultimate as well, so if they can get that to shut someone down, it would be massive for them. Dr. Eggs Benedict does get KO'd by the scenery. The fire actually vanquished them. No.
You know what's weird? That's the second time I've seen that. Yeah, on NECC specifically. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, we saw the exact same thing. Somebody got KO'd by the volcanic fire or the ruptures or whatever you want to call it. Oh, and Kinza is deciding to forego the assault rifle and going full shotgun. Takes down Joker in the background. Robo Dragon, though. Menace is taken out here. CYA does get popped. Simmer threw down the Eternal Bond, and as quickly as you saw the CYA, as quickly as it's gone here. Nice reset from Skyspark, though. 3 shots land. Let's see if you can do it again here onto the Cloak.
Yep, they can. And on to the Wolverine. They didn't get them with it, but they do get a triple nonetheless. So great KOs coming through. They don't have to worry too much. They're pushing forward just enough. So a bit of a stagger as well on it to Dr. Eggs Benedict. And I believe that's also the Invis, who is out of position, trying to find their way back to their team. I think at this point it might have been better just to jump off map, just so you can reset with your squad, because you are completely sectioned away from them. So a tough spot to find yourself in, especially with ultimate.
Oh, they're looking for her. She gonna get out?
I think she got back, yeah.
Wow, okay, Joker Jester, nice moves. Unfortunately, Final Judgment is going to get popped here. Pro Skill does not have that ultimate just yet. 76 97% here. Heartbreaker thrown on top, so they're not going to be able to do anything to counter the Final Judgment. A nice little layering of ultimates from SAU. I would have maybe just liked to see Heartbreaker plus Final Judgment. I don't know if the Emma ult needed to be thrown on top, but hey, it gets you the fight win. This is where you start pushing the point here with 3 members. Armed and Dangerous, though, from Eggs Benedict isn't going to surmount to too much. And in theory, is just going to stagger himself.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a waste of a Kraken impact there. And yes, I know you're getting pressure. You're trying to see if you can focus someone down, but would have been better to save that for a
fast
team fight. So great look from SAU Esports. Already 5 minutes still in the time bank for them as they head towards that 3rd checkpoint. So even if they do get to those 3 points for themselves, they're going to have such a massive advantage over Husky Gaming Red. And we saw how long it took Husky Gaming to even get that first checkpoint right. So it'll be a bit of a struggle. Still great that they did manage to get 3s, but they need to full hold here for over 4.5 minutes.
Menace pops the ultimate. Here comes... Oh, what a block from IDK with the shield. Is going to allow... Last Stand is available from Mr. Zert. We saw how good he was before. Unfortunately, not able to find anybody. Kinza takes him down immediately right to the passive. CYA gets layered on top, but unfortunately, it's not enough. Kinza gets too low. Menace takes down Dr. Eggs Benedict in the background. But SAU Esports, even without Kinza, even without the Final Judgment, are cleaning house here. Robo Dragon does pop the final quiz here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily needed to use that at that moment either, but I think they also, it's more of a use or lose it scenario with Deadpool, right? Because it completely resets every time you get back to the spawn after getting KO'd, so. Eternal Bond to engage, but they need to deal with Sky Spark on this flank angle. They are getting no damage, no attention at all. We have the Heartbreaker available as well for domination, so we'll see if that comes out in a moment's notice. They're just standing here, stalling. That's all they really need to do. Wait for their team.
No, they're staggering her. They're staggering her. No, Domination. Put it back on Domination. What are they doing? What are they doing? This is rogue. Oh my! What a stagger from Husky Gaming Red. Sky Spark?
Also,
Yo, what are we doing?
Are a little swapped here as well. I just realized that too, but it doesn't matter too much. SAU, a lot of time wasted from that stagger. Domination just standing there the entire time. It would have been better if they just ran back to their team at that point.
Yeah, force them to take them down. All right. Well, a lot of that time has been taken off the clock here. Reminder, SAU had 5.5 minutes. Now they're 2:45. Heartbreaker does get dropped here. Unfortunately, though, Joker does not get their ultimate stolen, so they can pop the invisible boundary. Final Judgment has been layered on top, as well as we do see the CYA. Punisher has been ban-hammered, but it doesn't matter. He's going to keep firing because CYA's got it covered. It looks like SAU are going to be able to cap this with a little over 2 minutes left on the clock. Guys, 3 on cart. 3 on cart. All right. Doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah. Like, we got extra time anyway. Like, doesn't matter how much extra time we have at this point in time. So we do have 3 minutes and 11 seconds to 1 minute for Husky Gaming Red. So we'll swap sides. Husky Gaming will be on the attack this go around. SAU defending. And look at those final hits from Kinza and Sky Spark again. 18 and 19. We saw some great looks from Mr. Zert, of course, but they're changing things up, I see.
Yeah, and thing is for Husky Gaming Red, 1 minute is not nearly enough time for them to build their ultimates. You talked about it earlier. It took them pretty much the whole breadth of the 4 minutes to finally capture that first point, where SAU was holding them very well in a lot of those dry fights, we'll call them. It wasn't until Husky Gaming Red had that ultimate advantage, an accidental ultimate advantage, we'll call it, with Simmer 5K having that Eternal Bond and Domination popping that Meteor M before really anything was needed. As long as SAU holds steady and plays the same way they exactly did in that first round, that first 3.5 minutes, could see a hard hold here coming out from SAU. And with 3.5 minutes nearly, or 3 minutes 11 seconds on the clock, a lot of time for them to just kind of build 6 ultimates and wipe them down completely.
The battle starts in 5, 4.
This is going to be a tough ask for Husky Gaming Red to get this objective domination playing super far up, just to try and stall them out as much as they can. I also like this position for Kinza. Punisher versus Punisher, but they're going to get the advantage on this one. Almost a full elimination, and actually, because the splash damage of the turret, they can't really escape. They're stuck on the hill, and they will get taken down. Oh my goodness.
Can't believe I just saw that. Domination, though, says, hey, trading 1 for 1 does get res 6v5 on the point. And mind you, Husky Gaming Red, you've got 25 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it's not much time. They did have a bit of an advantage in terms of people, but Dr. X Benedict fell from the high ground and does get taken out by the Rocket Raccoon. Kinza getting 1 as well onto Robo Dragon, which is not what you want to see. One of your duelists and your vanguards going down immediately before a fight. That's a huge focus, though, onto Kinza. Here's a good kidnap, but they couldn't get them directly onto the high ground, so they won't get the KO that they wanted onto that Cloak and Dagger. So, bit of a reset. We will see Husky Gaming, though, win out that fight in the end. So, good looks from them. We see SkySpark, though, trying to see if they can at least take them down before they capture the objective. What they're looking for. KOs galore, a double. Can they get the triple? They look for the rest of their team rallies behind them. Luna Snow getting involved, and there is 4 to their name. And that is all that she wrote for Husky Gaming.
SkySpark coming up huge with the Kraken impact at the end, just finding reset after reset. I really like that Menace was able to ice skate all the way to point. They didn't actually just give the point up. They're like, hey, we can actually touch, we can make it. A couple of our members are still alive here, and SkySpark being the hero that SAU needs, despite not being on the Moon Knight, dropping 22 final hits, and that can go a couple more hits higher depending on how these next 3.5 minutes go.
Well, tough spot to be in, especially with Doctor Strange not being available to them either. I feel like this has been such a underrated ban that we've seen from SAU as well. It's just made it that much more difficult for the other team to have one last fight, one last chance in these team fights. But taking that out of the equation just makes it so you know exactly what to expect.
30 seconds
if you win a team fight,
get ready.
You're all good. If you lose a team fight, though, it really puts you in a bad spot. So we'll see what SAU Esports can do. Will they be held down throughout these 3 minutes? I mean, they were very quick to get that first checkpoint.
Maybe for other people, not for me.
SAU Esports.
The battle
This
starts in 5,
kind of hodgepodge composite, a little brawly, a little bit poke enthusiastic with the Kinza. Like, this rogue is actually doing a lot more in terms of providing value than, you know, the Magneto that he was on, or even whatever they were running. Interestingly enough, IDK is going to swap over to the Mag themselves, and I like this rogue. Puts a lot of pressure on the backline, especially because you have to peel for it, and takes Dr. Eggs Benedict's, you know, eyes away. I like that little fake out, though, from the top left, immediately pivoting to the bottom right here, not going main. Sure, you see high ground, but all that setup, the turret that they ended up having, kind of useless now for Mr. Zert.
Build ult charge too, right, from your strategist, healing your team as you're taking a little bit of damage in that line of sight. So they didn't have enough of a pivot from Husky Gaming Red, and they thought that they'd go for the exact same strategy that worked out last time. And now you see them completely section off of the objective. They need to stay here. You see the Vanguards trying desperately to do that. I like the shielding a little bit onto the turret, but unfortunately there's so much focus on the Punisher, and especially with the shotgun coming out, it's just going to rip through the ranks of Husky Gaming Red. They can't stay alive to save themselves, and even with the Vanguard dead full, it won't be enough to stay on the objective. 2 ticks away from continuing their legacy of SAU Esports domination, and that's exactly what they'll do.
Ooh, yeah, 3 minutes was more than enough time for SAU Esports, and a little bit of a rocky 2-0 here so far. I thought it was going to end a little bit quicker with the way they were holding that first point, but despite all odds, despite it going to an overtime finish, Kinza rightfully gets the MVP, who was pretty massive with these final judgments and just kind of out diffing the enemy Punisher. You can't really do much about this guy if he's allowed to play Punisher 2 games in a row here. Now the question becomes, do you take out Sky Spark's Moon Knight? Do you ban away the Punisher? Do you leave something else open?
So
it feels really tough, especially because SAU is saving the Punisher.
Yeah, that's the problem. They've been banning Phoenix first every time, right? And the Punisher has been saved first by SAU every time. So you need to ban out that Punisher first and leave the Phoenix open potentially for a save. And I think that's what Kins is thinking about, is like, hey, you ban my Punisher, that's fine. I'll just lock in Phoenix. If you ban my Phoenix, I'll lock in Punisher. It doesn't matter what you ban because I'm always going to have an option available to me. And that's the problem with having the bans the way that they are. Unfortunately, if you have one key player that has a couple heroes that they can work with, you cannot ban them out. But that's also the beauty of the ban and protect phase for Marvel Rivals itself. You can't focus solely on one player if you want to, depending on the meta, of course. Unfortunately for them, there's so many different heroes in the duelist lineup that they can play for that. But that is our first 2 maps of the night. Before we figure out the results of the third one, we are going to be taking a quick break. So we'll see you after this.
It's been too long, couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to.
Welcome back, everyone, to some NECC Collegiate Marvel Rivals. I'm Vaudable. We got Shibby here as well, and we're ready to get back into the thick of things for this series. 2 maps down, both in favor of SAU. A little bit closer of Hall of Dajalia, but here's our favorite here, Shibby. We got Yggdrasil Path for our potential final map here as well, if things continue the way the trends have been showing.
Yeah, SAU Sports looking dominant on Burnin' T'Challa. Looking pretty good on Hall of Dajalia there. And Husky Gaming Red definitely giving them a run for their money. Yggdrasil Path could be a little bit different, though. Fully convoy map here, so there's no shenanigans with capturing a point and then unlocking the convoy or anything like that. Right from the spawn gate, you have a big convoy ready to go. It's 2 goats, I believe.
Yeah. That is very true. I'm really interested to see the strategies here, right? We saw a lot of Bucky. We saw a lot of Punisher. We're going to see the Punisher ban come out first this time instead of the Phoenix. We've seen the Gambit ban every time by SAU. SAU has also been banning the Doctor Strange every time. Are we going to see a Doctor Strange Protect from the side of the Huskies? Maybe that'll change their fate. They'll see the 14 million different realities where they lose, but there's the one where they win, and that could be it if they lock him in.
14 million realities, and Husky Gaming Red potentially have one where they can do the reverse sweep. It's happened before, and Husky Gaming Red, you've got the 2 casters where it's happened the most with, unfortunately, for SAU. So if any time as of now for the best of 5, there's a reverse sweep to happen, it will be here. But SAU looking to go home early, looking to send this in a 3-0, and looking to, like you said, bump their win record up to at least 2-4 to round off the end of the season. We do have one more week of NECC Marvel Rivals action, and then after that, it's complete and full playoffs, which is really, really exciting. I love that the fact that we're kind of diving into playoffs pretty early, right? About a month and a half of action, and then it's playoffs, then it's nationals, and that's where things get really exciting. Because you play on a LAN, you get a trophy, you get to do all this crazy stuff. You might see me and Vaudable there potentially screaming our hearts out on a LAN environment, at us booming through the stage, the auditorium or whatever.
Do it, NECC. We're calling on you.
Maybe. But Yggdrasil Path, map of choice. A lot of different compositions you can run here. We've seen Dive. Angela has been pretty successful. Venom as well. You also see those double shield compositions that have been banned away by SAU specifically. The Doctor Strange has been removed. And a very popular strat on this map is to run triple Vanguard, triple Strategist, and then TP back in with the Doctor Strange once you get eliminated to again stall the cart here. So I'm really interested to see, once that Doctor Strange gets removed, if we're still going to see 3-3 potentially from Husky Gaming Red or SAU, or if they're just going to go for the stock standard composition. A lot of different angles you can take. I like Magic and Psylocke specifically on this map just because of all the different corridors you can run into.
True. Yeah, it really works out well for Dive in that fashion. And we've been seeing a lot of Dive Vanguard, Deadpool, throughout the different ranks out there as well. I think it's really solid because you could focus on the back line so much and peel for the rest of your team, make it so that they have to turn around a little bit and then they get focused down as well. So a couple different options that they could go for that. I mean, we saw Robo doing really good with that on their side as well. So I'm just so many different options that we could see from Husky Gaming Red. I hope we see a lot of that play from them. I really liked the Wolverine, and I think Wolverine's got a couple different good alcoves that you were talking about that you can go into, flank around, and then kidnap towards your team as well. So a couple different options for Mr. Zert on that one as well. Also, shout out Mr. Zert. Used to play Omega Strikers. I ran tournaments for that game. I knew I recognized that name. They were a top 20 NA player. Have to bring out some of the fun facts here while we wait for the players to be ready. Speaking of other games, top 500 Splatoon player in Pro Skill. And also hates raw tomatoes. I mean, I get it. I like tomatoes, though.
Raw tomatoes.
So like you just have a tomato by itself with nothing. That's a raw tomato. Some people do
what
that.
about on like a salad?
Not even with like the salt and pepper like all the southern people do, like just raw by itself.
That's a thing? No, you're lying. You're joking.
People do have like a slice of tomato with just like salt and pepper, and that's it in the South. Yeah, that is the thing that they do. Look it up.
I feel sorry for the South. That's what you have to eat. Hey, raw. Hey, I like an heirloom tomato here and there. Like those, that's different. There's so many different kinds of tomatoes. Yeah, big old ugly heirloom tomatoes, one of the most delicious tomatoes you can get out there. Go to your local farmer's market, you'll probably find it there. Tips from Shibby here, as Yggdrasil Path has been chosen, like we mentioned. Now I'm interested to see, again, the big thing comes up. Do you forego the Phoenix ban into what is going to be, right? Do you forego the Phoenix ban into the Punisher, or what do you do here?
I think you do. I think you have to at this point. Like, it's been 2 maps of evidence that Punisher has been punishing your team, and you need to get rid of it, and the Magneto has not worked. So, because of that alt charge change, if we see another Phoenix ban, I'm like, Husky Gaming, you've lost the plot. That's my mindset at this point. And
they've lost it. They've lost it.
I mean, we're 100% seeing the Punisher lock-in by SAU Esports. It's worked every time. Ban the Gamut, lock the Punisher. It's just all said and done. We don't even need to look at the rest of this ban and protect phase unless the Doctor Strange gets saved by Husky Gaming Red. That would change things up here just a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna close my eyes.
There's a cat right there.
And I'm gonna guess this save. I just heard a save, so that's gonna be a Punisher save.
No, it was not.
And no, I've closed my eyes. It's not a what now? Whoa!
Save, yeah. On this map, it makes sense. It makes sense on this map. And there's the save. Hey, we're changing everything up. You got a Punisher ban. You got a Punisher ban right now if you're Husky Gaming Red. They took the Moon Knight. That's fine. Ban the Punisher. Ban the Punisher. Ban the Punisher. Please listen to us. Please. If you can hear us at all, ban the Punisher.
The Hela does sneak through, though, for SAU if the Punisher does get banned out.
Okay.
They both get to save.
Okay.
So now
my sanity is
ban the Magneto. Yeah, I know. That's probably what their coach is saying too. They're probably yelling at him. Ban the Punisher. Ban the Punisher. Whoever's in charge of banning here for Husky Gaming Red. Already looking like a different composition. We're gonna see no Cloak and Dagger. I love that. Terror capes are not gonna be available. Yeah, like the long hallways. You've got the areas where you can just kind of throw the Cloak and Dagger ultimate onto. Also,
Husky,
again,
I'd ban the
Terror
Lewis
cape.
Snow,
Disgusting.
actually, in my opinion. We haven't really seen anyone playing Loki, so that ban hasn't really mattered too much. We've seen a lot of Luna from SAU Esports.
Looney.
It's been a little loony. I was going loony if the Punisher wasn't getting banned, honestly.
Oh, Invis saved.
It's gonna be Hela again.
I'm really liking the ability to ban that Luna Snow that you mentioned, but yeah, Hela's going to be 0 hit scan. Duelists are available now.
True.
Elsa is the only one. By the way,
Elsa is available as far as I remember. So like, we just haven't seen it, and you know that's the thing of these lower divisions is some people just don't play the new heroes. I mean, especially in collegiate, right? If all they play is collegiate, and they don't really play much else. They might not be as used to playing those heroes, or maybe they just don't like having fun. Elsa's very fun on that end, too, because of just how much craziness
2-second dash.
Do with it. Yeah.
2-second dash.
Honestly, based on the hero pool that we have seen from SAU, it makes sense that they don't necessarily play Elsa. Elsa is very floaty, right? You can bob and weave wherever. You can dive in, dive out with her, and there's so many different options you can go with that. We've been seeing more of like a little bit of a flank from the Buckies, a little bit of just like standard stay behind your vanguards and bob out of cover with the Punisher.
Is that a magic?
We do see the magic, so that's why the Doctor Strange has been banned every time, because then you don't have the Magic Strange team up. This makes so much more sense now.
IDK as well, blocking in that Emma. I don't want to see you run back to spawn and swap here. I think there it is. Kinza Elsa. Oh, we're gonna have a fun game here. Mr. Zert is on the Iron Fist. Eggs Benedict on Rocket. Simmers on the Invis. So a couple different people playing a couple different heroes. We talked about how effective dive can be here. Husky Gaming have 3 dive heroes available in SAU Esports. I don't know if they're ready for this.
They are not ready for this. This is going to be a bit of an outclassing based on the hero pool that we're seeing from SAU Esports. Especially, Elsa is the server admin of the season. They have so many different options. As long as you get some KOs, you'll build up that instinct meter, and then eventually you will be able to dash every 2 seconds. They did get trapped for a second, but there is the KO on Disguise Spark, but the res does come through. I do like this Venom play, though, from Robo Dragon. Problem is they get bursted immediately.
Yeah, they're not really allowed to play the game here. Got to come back for the healing. This Rogue not going to be able to do too much. A lot of mobility on the side of Husky Gaming Red with the Invis and the Rocket, and you're not going to be looking to duel any of these dive heroes. So this Rogue doesn't feel as useful as possible. Although Kinza on the Elsa already takes down Mr. Zert. Does get rezzed back though. And Skyspark, despite going down relatively early, has the Hand of Khonshu available. Is willing to just drop it like that, which I really love. Just to zone this magic away. I mean, it's tough. You can't go back because there's a Hand of Khonshu getting thrown at you. And if you go more forward, you can't get to your heels. I love Skyspark letting that rip.
Is this a Mr. Fantastic from Joker Jester? Oh my goodness.
No,
We're getting
I don't
stretchy.
like this at all. Oh. Mr. Zert says, you know what? Hey, I'm Moon Knight character pretty good. Can I play it? Is that possible? But having one shield against this, Moon Knight, as I say that, I'm sorry, buddy, is gonna be a little rough. Does get the res off though. He's fine. EYA does get popped. Nice push on the Doctor Strange. Wow. Saves their team.
Oh my
and yeah,
God.
Kinza, max instinct. That's a 2-second dash, guys. Can just keep using it and using it. Doesn't matter.
All the isms coming through, even with the team up, does not matter.
Yo, what?
Unfortunate for them. Yeah, I don't know. That's been an issue with Dr. X Benedict. I've been realizing a couple times here is just accidentally usages of ultimates. I mean, we saw it at the end there when they pretty much lost the team fight. So I think it's also a way to tell that like the team hasn't necessarily been communicating their ult timings. Like, I'm going in with this, or some shot caller saying, hey, you need to go for this. Skyspark's just stealing that KO. It was so funny. Thanks.
I mean, you're bound to steal some KOs if you're playing Moon Knight, right?
Yeah.
An Ankh and a Moonblade, and it's pretty much lights out for you. You're taking a ton of damage. And this Fantastic is fantastically dead.
I don't know about using the Fantastic ultimate there either. I mean, tough spot to be in. We also see another Moon Knight ult come through again. Mr. Zert still holding on to theirs, and there hasn't really been much of an answer. Dr. X Benedict now on the Jeff.
Ooh!
We'll see if they can use the It's Jeff if they get it in time. Moon Knight ultimate does come through this go around, but really just creates space for them. And we almost saw Menace using the invisible boundary just because they could. They'll eventually use it just to stay on the objective. I don't know if I agree with using it there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just looking to live. Domination is the tank there. IDK does have Sonic Seduction available. CYA has been popped in response to the invisible boundary, but because you popped it right in front of the enemy team, without any cover, it's going to get taken out. Robo Draven on the Vanguard pool here. Skyspark 85% and counting on that Hand of Khonshu. Dr. Eggs Benedict, though, does have the It's Jeff. Looking for a massive E here, depositing them potentially onto the left side of the map. Let's see if he can do it.
And they get the lump sum of
it's
the other
two!
team. They got both duelists. That's massive. Take them off the edge. That's exactly what you need to do. And they are out of the equation for now. Overtime has been activated, but so much more room to be
Strange
made
is
here.
available.
Portal comes through for Pro Skill. Can they get onto the objective in time? Yes, they do. The problem is that they block their own path forward with the placement of the portal.
He can go behind. We'll see if it's going to be needed. Kinza the whole time has been at max instinct, by the way. Just been a thorn in the side of Husky Gaming Red. We have yet to see a Glartrox. Maybe we'll see it here. Eye of Agamotto comes in, lands on the Menace and Kinza. Unfortunately, no elims come in. Dinner time is available, and that's going to take him off of the map!
Oh, no. I feel like Chibi, us and Husky Gaming have been baited successfully. No Elsa bans the entire time. They're like, oh yeah, maybe they don't have an Elsa player. No, Kids is pretty good at Elsa.
Yeah,
and the
I'm not
Punisher,
surprised.
they released the Glartrox against you.
Yeah, Apex Predator is just too good, man. Apex Predator is disgusting, as well as the ability to just move around every 2 seconds. Unsure what they're going to be able to do here. They don't even have to push it that far. Husky Gaming Red have to pull a miracle out of their hats here. They got the Doctor Strange that has been so continuously banned out. You had the potential for the Magic team up, but unfortunately did not work Kinza is just playing ranged Magic. The crazy thing is, I don't know if you've been seeing, a lot of the best Magic players in the world have picked up Elsa and have been dominating on this hero because it is just ranged Elsa. The movement, the CC, the ability to bob in and out and weave in and out, it is just Magic with a gun.
Pretty much, yeah. And that makes them so much better, honestly.
Exactly.
Unfortunately for the Magic players out there. But hey, we respect the grinders nonetheless and the OTPs. But unfortunately, SAU Esports do not have much respect for Husky Gaming Red. They are going for everything, for the jugular here as well, with the Venom trying to get the Moon Knight off of the high ground. That's a massive play, and what we didn't see from Husky Gaming Red on the other end when they were playing Venom at the start. And gets rid of the spawner.
Oh, no respawn beacon available. Domination does go down, but he potentially should get respawn. No, unfortunately, Bumpy did not throw the res beacon down in time. And, I've seen Brute into Moon Knight before. Skyspark built up a very quick ultimate. It looks like he's looking to do the same. 85%. Never mind, 91. What? What? I'm not even allowed to say. He's got how fast he's going to get his ultimate.
That's insane. Skyspark is just getting fed time and time again. And speaking of time, none remaining for Husky Gaming. We finally see Robo Dragon on a Groot instead, try and lock things down, and they're actually able to push everyone back. There was a bit of an overextension from SAU Esports, and could have easily seen this ended here, but Robo Dragon doing all that they could, unfortunately, did not prove to be enough. And there will be the sweep enacted by St. Ambrose University Esports. They will be your victors. The bees are buzzing loudly.
The moon is calling loudly. Hand of Khonshu. Absolutely
is Khonshu
busted.
a beekeeper?
Maybe Moonlight's is one. Who knows? I mean, he's got to do something with his time. As Kinza is going to take the MVP on the Elsa. Realistically, SAU Esports, pretty much every single duelist firing on all cylinders. They're going to take the 3-0, like you mentioned, bump their record up to 2-4. And unfortunately for the Husky Gaming Red squad, they will stay winless until next week, where they can potentially turn their fates around just a little bit, get that end of season win. At least, like something to have on your program, something to have for your team as you head into the next NECC season.
Yeah, tough spot for them to find themselves in. Again, they are in Midwest B, so I'm actually kind of curious to see who they face off against next week. So they do face off against the Minnesota State Mavericks, and I believe that is the team that is undefeated right now in their division. Okay, they're 5-1, but 0-5 versus 5-1. Good luck. That's all I got to say for that one against that kind of a team. But either way, we'll see if they can eke out a win in that final week of competition. They showed some sparks of brilliance, right? But the problem is when you have the Glotch Rocks against you, you cannot really do too much to escape.
Yeah, unfortunate. We're probably going to see more Elsa this week, obviously, and next week as well, especially heading into the playoffs when we get to some of those higher seeded teams. Everyone is going to be locking in Elsa, and who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe there's going to be some Black Cat or potential White Fox, because I believe playoffs coincides with the new season of Marvel Rivals, where a lot of things can get shaken up for Season 7. I anticipate a very big balance patch, but with that series concluding, Vaudable, we've got a bit of an extended break coming in because the 3-0 from SAU. Our next match is going to be in about 45 minutes here. So you guys got a lot of time to go get some food, go to the bathroom, maybe play a couple Rivals matches. Vaudable has sushi to attend to, so there's definitely that. But in about 45 minutes, we are going to have our second series of the night between Texas A&M and Tamu White versus Maryville Academy. Two very storied and historic collegiate programs in other games. So I'm really excited to see them. But like I said, long extended break. So you're welcome to go anywhere. Go fill some gas. Go get some food. Go play some video games. Do whatever you want. We'll be back in 45.
Wondering why I don't know the feeling of walking through these streets like they're mine. Trying to find a way to beginnings somewhere in a different life. I just wanna get to know brighter lights in Tokyo.
if it cuts quite like a memory. Especially one that you're trying to forget. But I can't find the energy to rewind and reset. I know you don't wanna be used, but you use me to build up. You build up to break me down. How does it feel? How does it feel to knock me around? I won't make a sound. You have habits just like me. Talk too much with strangers. Get way too serious around family. Go on myself. I'm cold steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools. Serpents, they dream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. Gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Come cold blood, selfish. Your words are painless. I like when I drive and feel so dangerous. They say I'm a red flag, 'cause they want it so bad. You should know I'm holding on to what I had. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon.
I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb at first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst. breeze is just what I deserve. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve.
And I can't stop thinking about you, but what you gonna do? And you know I'm feeling good like that, so what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I've been in the good times already. You can see it on my face. I know. No more racing. We got it. We could reach it. Yeah, we got it. Oh, I'm feeling good like that. So what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. Hey, you don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me, you don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. I'll save Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me, you don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself.
Frozen over like I am. Well, I know you know.
Time to ignite the battle once again and get into our final series of week 6 of action for NECC Marvel Rivals Collegiate. I'm Vaudable. We got Shibby here yet again, and we have a Division 3 series for you this time. It is Texas A&M White versus Maryville Academy. I know, Shibby, you talked about two historic collegiate programs battling it out for this series.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? I was muted on VMix, guys.
He was just
Whoops.
miming for a second.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, I was just saying, Tamu White, historic organization, very renowned across a bunch of different esports titles. Maryville Academy, they need no introduction. Maryville, obviously dominant in a multitude of titles. Overwatch, League of Legends. I know they're very good at Valorant. As we get the rosters going, Tamu White have Perk, Math Maniac, Colt, S2J Lackety, and
Prefers to be called Ryan, apparently, for S2.
Ryan. Okay, Ryan, a Wild Duck, Meow Pow 2745. And for Maryville Academy, we have World Champ, Asterix, Swirlixa, Dremel, Python Lord 101, or Python _ Lord 101, and Wennet. I'm going to ask you this time, Vaudable, what's the best name in here? I think I have mine, but I want to know yours.
I like a Wild Duck. That's pretty good. Reminds me of the
Python
duck
Lord.
Costume. Yeah.
Python Lord was mine. I enjoy
Python
that. We have a
Lord's
Wild
pretty
Duck
solid.
versus a Python versus the Lord of Pythons, actually. So we'll see.
Also, it's
what
apparently Wenet or Weenet for the last name there. So.
Wennet. Oh, Wennet. Okay. Okay.
Wenet
Well,
or
that's-
Weenet.
Weenet. All right. We'll be one or the other.
We
depending
will
on-
get it right.
We will get it right. That is true. And yeah, I'm excited. Division 3. I think both of these teams do have quite a bit to play for here. Tamu White and Maryville Academy. So we are going to go straight into the random nomination. Yeah, this is something that has been recently implemented, I would say a couple weeks ago now. We're essentially just following what every other competitive league does in Marvel Rivals at the moment. It's a random domination map into loser's choice of either Convergence or Convoy, and then it resets back to domination. And it's just loser's choice across the board here. A lot of nice symbols, Celestials, Grandmaster players. I've probably met some of these guys in my game, so I expect a very high-level match.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Nice to see that they're both co-ed rosters as well. Swirlixa on the side of Maryville, and then Meow Pow on the side of Tamu White. Always
There's
great
the
to see
Elsa
more people getting involved in collegiate esports. And yeah, this
No
is going to be
Gambit.
more typical for the bans. We've definitely seen a lot of people saying, I never want to play against that tree in my life, and that's what we see happen here for Texas A&M White, the Maryville Academy. Maybe they just have something about British people that they don't like. Who knows? But they will ban Elsa out of it. No tea and crumpets available. They might live in Boston part-time. Either way, though, we are going to get into the protection bans this time, and it will be the
Ooh.
thing. Maybe we get some Payne Brothers action. I'd love to see it.
I don't know. Dude, like that team up is fun. It's cool, but I mean, if you want to throw your
for,
Marvel Rivals game, that's the fastest way to double off tank team up. I mean, it's kind of rough. You've got to run like a crazy con. I've seen it work here and there. The Wolverine save is interesting considering Thing has already been saved here. Maybe they're not really worried about, Thing into Wolverine, or they potentially have a Phoenix in their back pocket. I'm more surprised that Gambit has been slipping through the draft so convincingly. I think they're playing Gambit chicken. They're waiting for the other team to spend a ban on it. That's literally what we've seen happen, in a couple games now where both teams will refuse to ban Gambit until they absolutely have to, and we'll see, or run the risk of letting it through. Or I have seen one other thing where they will just ban the Loki instead of the Gambit and be okay with just like a Gambit versus Gambit and like Gambit Cloak or Gambit Invis. But Tamu White don't want to play Gambit Chicken anymore, and they're going to ban that away.
I'm curious if we see a Loki get through it all, though. Like, that's been a main focus for a lot of players as well, just making sure that they either have it available or they don't have it available. And with a ban still up on the table for both these teams, we could see it taken off of the table entirely. But we do get a Hulk locked in which I have not seen since Season 1.
Oh, okay. You really want the fastball special, I guess. That's
Yeah,
the
that would be it. I mean, but you can get
That's
it
probably-
for playing the Thing, which is kind of
That's
better
what-
at this
yeah.
point in time. It's like,
Yeah.
maybe they want to force
Yeah.
Payne Brothers. That could be it too. Banning Psylocke in this meta also doesn't make sense to me. Like, we never see her really played. You could just, well, I guess if you take Elsa off the table, then maybe someone is more of a Psylocke main in that same fashion,
Yeah.
similar to like how we're
Those
talking
ranged-
about like Magic players as well. It does make sense
Yeah.
on that end. Probably more of a target ban than anything else, but typically not something you tend to see in Adam Warlock.
Ooh.
Getting rid of that instead of the Loki, which I think
Pick your
does
hero.
get rid of a lot
Or
of
villain. I'm not
usage out
judging.
of the Loki in general, so you don't have just the double reses coming out left and right. If you are going to let Loki through and you want to play it yourself, getting rid of the Atom does make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, yeah, I've been talking about that Loki Luna that's been getting played again. It's been cropping back up.
Yeah.
I pray that it stays down. Honestly, Loki Luna is so boring. I'm sorry. Back when it was 12 seconds of invulnerability, back when it was a 12-second ult for Luna Snow as well, I mean, it was 24 seconds of invulnerability, basically, right? Now it's 20 seconds,
Dance
which is
party
not
everywhere.
that big of a difference. And then, Vaudable, I do remember there was a time where it was Loki, Luna, and Adam was layered right on top.
Yes.
And that was even more disgusting. So,
Or
it
we
looks
had
like
Loki Adamantis for triple res. That was great. Oh, man. The war flashbacks that are going through my mind at this part in time. But Dremel going to be the one playing Hulk on the end of Maryville Academy. That seems to be their focus. And, you know, if something isn't broken for your team, like Maryville Academy, again, they are 4-0 currently on the season. So this is their 5th match. Apparently, they still have a couple more to go, even in this week 6. So one more maybe that got rescheduled or something of the sort. Texas A&M, they're looking to go even. 2-3 headed into this matchup specifically, and a very tough opponent to face off against. Maryville Academy basically already a lock for the playoffs themselves in Division 3. So even more so a lock, better seeding if Maryville Academy can get the win here. And I do like the composition we are seeing for them. The classic Loki Invis duo that we see here on the strategy lineup.
Yeah, Meowpow on the Jeff here. Invis Jeff considerably weaker than Invis and Loki here. So Maryville Academy, not really have to worry. But there is a lot of damage coming out from Texas A&M White, especially if, you know, Thing on Colt is applying those vulnerabilities correctly and the team is calling it out. Then there's a world where you can focus somebody down here. So we'll see if Texas A&M White or Tamu White can do it here. But when it already picks up Wild Duck, really tough to play Wolverine into what is effectively a poke Phoenix here, and Wennet doing a really good job on Maryville Academy, just locking that in.
Yeah, I'm liking it from Maryville Academy, and this is kind of what we expected to see from these team fights. I'm liking the positioning as well here from Wennet as well, so doing what they can for their team, but the early percentage going in their favor. Ultimate's also pretty much online for the most part, aside from Python Lord, but they're not worrying too much about it. They're more of a deterrent, it feels like, to Math themselves. And Colts, yeah, you don't have to worry against the Wolverine, but they still do a lot of damage against you.
Yeah, and the team up, the Phoenix team up, still pretty damn good, right? The survivability, as we do see. It's Jeff being popped here. Can it actually get anybody? Magneto is going to be a nice bubble coming out from Math Maniac. Fortunately, I don't think this is going to result in an elim here, although Invis does get spat out back behind their team. Would have loved to potentially take him off the map. Monster Hulk gets popped by Dremel. We're going to see Swirlixa as well picks up a couple Tamu White members. And yeah, I can see why they picked the Hulk. If you're that good on it, it doesn't matter what you're playing into.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like the YWL style that we would see with the Hulk, just like leading the charge unabashedly, nobody really having any way to deal with them. And honestly, just the flexibility of being able to run in, run out, dive in, dive out as much as you can, and knowing when to do exactly that. The Exile 2 on to the other team just for some extra salt in the wound, but this is going to be an ult battle to say the least, especially with all of them online for just about everyone.
Yeah, Dremel. Hopefully, we're going to get some more pressure. Finally gets sniped out or kidnapped here. Potentially big clobbering time here. Both invisible boundaries are going to be taken. Python Lord does drop a last stand, but unfortunately, Wennet, big End Song Inferno lands onto multiple members. Does get taken down, but I don't know if it's enough for Tamu White to completely swing this fight in their favor. Dremel transforms back into Hulk, and it looks like Maryville Academy is going to take round 1.
Yeah, solid performance from them. Didn't really give up too much and had the disadvantage in ultimates in that team fight, but it seemed like it was segmented, the timings of the ultimates from Texas A&M White. They didn't quite coordinate as well as they could have. We saw, you know, the kidnap from a Wild Duck on it to Dremel, and nobody really focusing them because they had their own things to deal with. The clobbering time came out from Colt, looked a little bit better. Interesting changeup that we see here as well, though. Colt onto the Venom, Wild Duck onto the Magic. seeing if they can go more of a dive composition themselves to deal with Dremel and maybe the backline a little bit better. But it also seems there isn't a Loki player on the side of Tamu White, which makes me question why they let it go through.
Yeah.
The battle starts in
I
5,
just I don't
Okay,
I don't understand
Perk's
why
playing
we.
it. Okay.
Okay, yeah, all right, okay. That's what I was about to say. I was like, I get the Jeff experiment, but like, it is what it is. Like you do it for round 1, see what happens. You aren't even running the Vanguard pool with it, which is typically what you'll see. You'll see like the Jeff with all the team ups available, and sometimes you can just use
Thanos
the team ups to your
gauntlet of
advantage. Yeah, pretty much like Venom and Jeff, and you have all this other stuff. Whoa! Well, gets caught on the lip though. So Math Maniac is actually completely fine there. Python Lord, unfortunately, gets caught on the roof of that building. Was looking to maybe take him off the map with the rocket jump pack. And Song Inferno does get dropped. It's actually going to pick up 2 World Champ and Swirlixa. Both go down. Python Lord has taken down the Venom. Wild Duck goes down as well. Weenit and Python Lord, the duelists for Maryvale Academy, coming up big. As I say that, though, Weenit does get taken down, but this Phoenix not really allowed room to breathe. He's getting pressured by both the Magneto and the Hulk. Dremel simply says, hey, meet lightning and thunder.
Yeah, you know, we just got to sit on that one for a second and be like, well, unfortunately for S2, it didn't quite work in their favor that go around. So back from the respawn room all the way to the objective. They're going to take the slow walk this go around. Meteor M, though, comes out. Unfortunately, does not get the hit onto the ulting Cloak and Dagger. There's going to be the kidnap, though, and they get stuck. They can't even ascend well enough to escape, so they will find their demise there. And well, Texas A&M White did what they could, then the Python Lord snaps back.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. You can't let them do that to you.
you captured more than half.
Oh, unfortunately, Maryvale Academy are just playing this duelist combo better. Wild Duck realized that. Control.
The late greens as well. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. World Champ. It's going to take down Perk in the process. Tamu White, 55% though. Nothing to scoff at here. Maryville Academy, couple fights, and they are going to send this to a 2-0. But I do see the fastball special getting channeled. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to use it here. I feel like Tamu White is doing a decent enough job not giving him these crazy kidnaps.
Yeah, that's been working out well enough for them. But again, as I talked about, like the segmentation that we saw from ultimates from when they're going in, the target acquisition from Texas A&M. Why? I mean, even with these ults coming through, there's just been nothing to take down the other team, and the exile onto them as well makes it that much more of a moot point. S2 doesn't get anyone with the ultimate. I think they procced it at the wrong spot, so it hit the woodwork instead. So just a tough spot to be in for them too. So a lot of these positioning plays and ultimates that are coming out from Texas A&M White just have not been effective against Maryville Academy, who just really need to play their game. Like, they've already gotten so much percentage back in their favor. Colt does try to stall as much as they can, but it's 1v6, so you got to back off when you can.
Yeah, burn the Feast of Abyss there just to live. Now meets Hulk up in the top side, so can't really set up that dive that you were so used to seeing these Venom players. Yeah, and they got the health back and the exile. I mean, Dremel is annoying, man.
Yeah. I can see where they locked in the Hulk now. We were kind of saying it's a bit questionable, but if they're that good on Hulk, I get it.
Oh!
Oh no! Swirlixa did have the copy. The God of Mischief come through, but they got taken out before they could even do anything about it. So that's huge for Colt, actually. Might change the game if they can snowball from it, but that's the issue for Texas A&M here, Shivy, is that they have struggled to do that in the past. Eventually, we do see them win the fight, so they will get it before a touch comes out from Maryville Academy. But is it too little, too late?
Yeah, Colt did a nice simple swing slam. I mean, that was really, really cool, where you automatically look at the ground, swing, and then you get that height so you can slam back down onto them. He's been pretty proficient on the combos with Venom here. I know it's weird to say because a lot of people view him as like a basic hero. Meow Pow, though, does take Weenet down prior to the fight. 76% and counting. Maryville Academy have to be careful here. They've got one, maybe 2 fights if they get a portal off.
Look at the ult differences as well here. Like, this is massive for Texas A&M
Yeah.
White. It's going to continue to snowball unless we do see some ults faded out by Maryville Academy. They do have the invisible boundary, the Meteor M, but I don't think that's really going to do too much in comparison to Texas A&M White. Especially Colt almost has theirs available. Darkchild for a Wild Duck, and so much positioning being given to them. We do see the lanterns come out, so that does make the Ensong Inferno a moot point. Meteor M doesn't work as well for Texas A&M, so there's a couple of ultimates wasted by them. Maryville Academy, though, their own Ensong Inferno just goes into nothingness. There is going to be the Darkchild, though, for Wild Duck. They get a double onto the other side. Map Maniac with another and a Wild Duck for the triple. Maryville Academy are dropping like flies, and they're dropping this point.
They are going to drop it. We're going to go to map number 3 here, sub-map number 3. As Texas A&M, they take Warrior Falls, and Stellar Spaceport is going to be our final sub-map. Maryville Academy, a bit wasteful, I would say. A lot of the stuff that they're doing just not working out.
Yeah, a tough spot to be in for Maryville Academy because they felt so proficient at the beginning, but then they gave so much early percentage up to Texas A&M White because they felt confident in being able to recapture the objective, and unfortunately didn't work out well for them. One by one, Texas A&M were winning those individual battles, and yeah, they might have been segmented at the start, but if you don't have a backup plan for Maryville Academy, it's going to be a tough spot for you to recollect yourselves. And just based on this composition we're seeing from them, I don't know, maybe that sub-map, just because of how open it was, doesn't work out in their favor much better for a Venom play like we saw from Colt. And the Wild Duck, the swap onto Magic definitely was a play. Perk having the Loki to have that mirror is actually working out so much better than just Jeff.
Yeah. I love the fact that, you know, they experimented with the Jets and said, you know what? Not going to work out. I do like the cloak specifically for that Terror Cape, which is very good into Hulk, by the way. Any sort of dive, any sort of, you know, brawl style heroes, and Terror Cape just becomes infinitely better. And I will say, S2 has been doing a really good job winning some of those poke duels and those Phoenix duels. As I say that, though, World Champ comes out of that cavity with a double kill.
Huge for World Champ on that one. Colt going down early is massive. I think they really need to focus, though, on the back line of Texas A&M White. They've stayed alive for as long as they could. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the Cloak and Dagger ult off as well as they would have liked to at least stay on the objective. So will the Maryville Academy taking first point? Again, as a reminder, for those who are not as educated in the lore of domination, if you get the first capture point, 9 times out of 10, you're the one who wins that point and map as well. And we've seen that happen both times here on Hall of Jalia, so we'll see what the Fastball Special can do for Maryville Academy to secure even more percentage for them.
Oh, whiff on the fastball, but might not be a problem here. Python Lord, last stand available. We'll see if he's actually able to get a good one. We saw a lot last series, and I think it's tough. You know, the changes where Wolverine can now slam them into a wall. The amount of damage that's coming in is really lethal.
That's the Eternal Bond that we were talking about. We were waiting on before. Can the Meteor M come out in time? No, it's not the perfect spot, and I believe it was protected that time as well. Another Meteor M comes through, tries to see if they can kidnap them or maybe block it. Unfortunately, for the side of Texas A&M, Maniac's Meteor M goes nowhere because of the massive damage that they were being dealt. So, Got a Mischief does come out from Squirrel Elixir. There'll be Invisible Boundary on the objective. Another one from Perk on the other end as well. And eventually the Worldbreaker Hulk does need to get unleashed. We'll see if it comes out in mere moments. But so much percentage still gained from Maryville Academy, regardless of how this fight goes.
Oh! Nice exile into Thunderclap there. Takes down Perk. They're down, and S2 goes down as well. Oh my lord, Dremel! What are you doing to Tamu White?
Knocking them around off the objective and making it so that that percentage continues to total up. Not many more chances for Texas A&M White to recontest the objective, and almost a couple ults available for Maryville Academy. They're just waiting to throw this around. In this form
Wolverine looks
that
like a
Wolverine
bird.
did is so funny. Yeah, he's just perched on the hand of this Worldbreaker Hulk that'll be unleashed eventually again. But unfortunately, not a single good fastball so far. 2 balls, no strikes.
Meteor M coming in along with the Darkchild. Ooh, nice! Slamming it onto Python Lord here. No defensive ultimates available for Maryville Academy, so they're just going to have to eat this Darkchild. What an exile! It's going going to shave a couple seconds off of that. I don't think it's going to matter too much, but if anything, Dremel, human highlight reel on the Hulk.
Massive for Texas A&M White. They do get the percentage in their favor now, but will it be enough? Solid ultimates. I also like the swap for when it on to the Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier for the Kraken Impact. Will they be 0-3? Are they going to let them walk on the base, or will they finally get a strike here instead? Get some sort of pick with the fastball special this go around. I think they were trying to wait out to see if they can get that last stand. Oh no, the force physics sends them away. So technically it wasn't their fault that time, but it was a bunt instead.
Ooh, and Colt immediately gets taken down. Love the peel coming out from Python Lord. Immediately shifting to, hey, my backline is going down. There's a lone Vanguard on it. Let's see what we can do. Ensong Inferno comes in. So Elixa pops the Ensong Inferno. Win it. Unfortunately, not able to get too much out of that Kraken Impact. And Asterix, Meteor M goes wide as well. This last stand isn't even useful. Unfortunately, throws it into the wall, and two more elims come out for Tamu White, and Maryville Academy had the ultimate advantage. You just don't know how to use it. And now we see Monster Hulk. I don't think this is enough.
No, it's not enough just yet. They do get one elimination to perk the back line, so that is going to help them a little bit, but percentage continues to tally up for Texas A&M White, and I feel like Python Lord, these fastballs, these ultimates, and everything else has not been working against this composition of Texas A&M White. It might be time to swap off the Wolverine, in my opinion. And they're going Penny instead of the Hulk for Dremel. What?
Hey, you know what? Maybe they're looking to hold down the point. Maybe they're doing some flank Penny shenanigans. Colt, though, looking for this dive. Perk pops the invisible boundary as well as it gets matched in kind. Feast of the Abyss is available. This could be massive for Tamu White, especially with this Meteor M landing onto Wennet. Python Lord goes down as well. Wennet does get res, so it is a 5v5 right now. When are you going to pop this Feast of Abyss? That's the question. It could be fight winning. Maybe you don't need it because Mathmania takes down World Champ. Asterix takes down a Wild Duck. And Ensong Inferno takes Wennet down again. And Maryville Academy, in my opinion, seemingly throw the lead that they had.
They did, 100%. Unfortunately for them, they do get on the objective at the last moment. World Champ trying to see if they can at least get a pick, but no, they C9 off the objective too. They couldn't even touch at the last second because they were so focused trying to get the Cloak and Dagger off the objective. Maryville Academy had all of the cards in their hand to have a Royal Flush, and then they folded instead.
Yeah, that's wild. Tamu White. I mean, S2J just kind of locking in, honestly, was getting the better of those Phoenix duels in map 2 and map 3. Map 1 obviously was a little bit rougher. You did have Jeff as your support there, so might have been the difference maker. But when Tamu White just swapped to the good stuff, the stock standard.
Yeah, what works?
Yeah, what works? I mean, 17 finals going pretty much uncontested, only 8 deaths here. Wild Duck did what they needed to do, applied enough pressure along with Colt, especially onto the backline, so much so that Swirlixa felt like they needed to swap over to that Rocket Raccoon. Dremel, I can see why you go the Penny because you have it as Lord, but I don't know if that was the answer here.
I think a lot of this had to do with the issue that Texas A&M White had at the start, right? Where we talked about the segmented usages of the ultimate, not really having a actual strategy and just using it because you have it, right? We saw that happen with the Wolverine a couple times there, right? With the last stand, unfortunately, didn't really get much value out of it. They kept trying to go for the fastball special and didn't get anything every time. And if you keep hitting that wall and you keep getting sent back to the spawn room, something's got to change, and unfortunately, it didn't change at the end there in time. We saw some more changes from the rest of their team, but I think that was more of a panic than anything else to get back on the objective. So, and again, one thing to note too, they didn't have a Doctor Strange, so they couldn't portal because Maryville were the ones themselves who banned it out, mainly probably because of the Magic. They didn't want that team up, and that's the second time actually we've seen a focus on a Strange ban because there's a Magic play on the other side. You do not want to deal with that kind of chain team up that just like makes it so you get a 2-for-1 special as a Magic main. So, I don't know, a couple different options they can go for. Central Park will be our next map here for Convergence, and then we'll end off with some Convoy before we switch things up for our final 2 maps. But I feel like this one could potentially go the distance here, Shibby, especially since Maryville Academy have not dropped a series. I think they might have been messing around a little bit there, and now it's time for them to lock in.
Okay. Central Park, like you mentioned, is going to be that convergence map here. Maryville Academy, on paper, stronger team, right? But Tamu White, no, not to be messed with. And obviously, Audible, you've heard me say multiple times before, domination is the most volatile of maps.
So
We've
true.
seen it time again. One team wins the domination map, and then they end up getting 3-1'd after. So Maryville Academy definitely hitting themselves on the head for giving that away so easily. But going back to Central Park, a much more controlled environment. Compositions matter, bans matter, and there we go. Groot not allowed on, dare I say, arguably his best map in Marvel Rivals.
And that's the perfect ban that we see here as well for Maryville Academy. Getting rid of the Phoenix, we saw how effective Texas A&M were on it, so don't want that on the table at all. They're going to lock in the penny on the attacking side, maybe potentially defense here as well. It depends. We've seen a lot of penny mains who like to play like that flank penny, get behind them, set up in a certain corridor on that first checkpoint, and then like just go ham from then on out. I like this play, seeing Hella, so I would definitely expect a Namor ban from Maryville Academy, so you don't have to worry about that at all either, especially with the reduced healing that you can see from that team up and the like Monstro spawns that are intangible that you can't deal any damage to as well. Gambit ban, of course, coming in from Tamu. They do not want that to be on the table, especially on this map. It really just gets rid of any kind of play and plans that you have, but might have been a better option for them to have it for them, right? Because you can deal with the Penny who's entrenched a little bit better with the Gambit, in my opinion, with that team up. But Adam Warlock Rez is going to be available. This time you need to ban the Loki if you're Texas A&M. If you do not want to be full held by this Maryville Academy roster, they are going for the tried and true that we have seen time and time again. With Adam now having his legs, he can fly. He can do whatever he needs to on the map and do some crazy shenanigans with that too. But the Namor ban does make a lot of sense.
Ooh, okay.
That's a
Tamu
good
White
counter.
go the counter, though.
Yeah.
I like this. Does Maryville Academy adapt and drop the Storm ban? That's the big thing. Because if
True,
Texas A&M is allowed to play Moon Knight Storm, hey, if you watch me on TikTok, you would know that's the counter to triple support right now. This is the exact counter that many teams in Ignite, in MRC have been running consistently. The Moon Knight and Storm combo. So Maryville Academy, are they privy to that knowledge? Have they been studying? Have they been looking at what the better teams have been playing here? Or are they just going to lock in something else? Are they going to ban away the Phoenix potentially?
Well, they did ban the Phoenix at the start there, as we were mentioning earlier on that one. But yeah, I think getting rid of the Phoenix so that they can play Penny is huge. Getting rid of the Elsa is massive here as well. I mean, I think we saw the Elsa banned at the start last time by Maryville Academy. Yes, we did. So they were trying to see if anyone would opt for that on the other side. And they're just like, hey, maybe we don't want to play it ourselves. We'll still have the Invisible Woman available to them. I like the Python Lord here on the Punisher, though. Pretty solid mix-up there. So it looks like they are going Rocket Penny? Adam? I mean, I don't know necessarily about this composition. It's interesting to say that. Swirlix are definitely going Loki, though.
Double res. Well, two methods of rezzing for Maryville Academy
true.
Right now, who have opted in on the defensive side. It was their map choice, and so Tamu actually said, hey, we want to play offense first. Very interesting. And it looks like
Loki for double? Interesting.
the reason you play Loki as well is because you get Adam's res faster as Loki than Adam does.
Yeah.
like
Interesting.
It's gonna be a very
interesting
low res.
choices is all I gotta say. But maybe that's why we're in Division 3. You know.
Maybe that's why we're casters. I don't know. Anyways,
you know, that could be the case too. That could be the case too. Either way, though, Math Maniac now unleashed on the Doctor Strange. No team up though.
Champion
that
Doctor
they will have
Strange.
For
Who's
the
bouncing.
champion Doctor Strange. So they're actually going to be rocking the Invis Doctor Strange team up and not the magic one like I was talking about. And S2 is deleted immediately from the server.
Okay, goodbye. But really, all we have to look at is Wild Duck and figure out when he's going to build up this ultimate. Because once he gets it, he's probably going to drop it on the back half of the map. It's a single duelist composition for Maryville Academy with Dremel holding the line here. If he's the Penny player I suspect he is, and he's got it behind that unbreakable pillar. Yeah, that's the best
flank
spot.
into Adam.
Yeah, there's a flank from Adam as well, which is absolutely disgusting. Well, he can flank now because he can fly away.
Yeah. I mean, we already saw Only Legs just playing that all the time either way, so now he's even better for anyone who's been watching
True.
that kind of content too. But, you know, even then, Moon Knight doing what they can to build up the ultimate. Math Maniac, I think, was just trying to take as much damage as they could. Why would you put it there when they could easily just go in the room? Kind of an odd placement for the respawner.
You sound so
Python Lord just
disappointed.
sat here in the turret. They're just waiting for someone to come out, and they're not giving them the satisfaction of building their ult charge. Which is also a strategy too, right? Deny ult charge build to the other team until you have yours.
Yeah, turret actually. The properties of turret is kind of busted. You can avoid like a ton of CC with it. It can block Magneto ultimate. Like,
Doesn't it
all
block
weird
the Jeff
stuff.
ult too?
Yep. It blocks the def ult. The moment you see the thing on the bottom of your screen, you just pop E as Punisher and you're good to go. And he's gonna immediately pop it here. And this is a really nice spot to put it in because when they peek, they are guaranteed to take damage here. You can't really shoulder peek the turret without at least giving a decent amount of ult charge. Final Judgment comes in, almost timing away against the Eye of Agamotto. Python Lord! Oh, the Punisher connoisseur you are!
Yeah, I think we did see the Banhammer from Colt
Oh!
also coming out as well, but it didn't quite work out in their favor. Massive It's Jeff from Meow Pow. She's going to take them all the way away from the objective. So even if a res
Can't
came
res.
out, it's too far away.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's huge for them. But unfortunately, Maryville Academy still able to lock things down on the objective. So great ultimates that we saw from Texas A&M, but they just couldn't do anything with it.
Ooh,
Stagger.
nice mines. Nice mines. Oh my god. The pre-deployed mines onto the health pack so that even when you jump on it, you're bound to take a couple points of damage, a couple 100 points there for Wild Duck, unfortunately. Nike, you said, nice stagger coming out from Maryville Academy. And so far, they've hard held for about a minute, but Vaudeville, as you and I were, you know, delighted to see last series, doesn't matter how many fights you lose as long as you win the one in overtime.
Exactly, yeah, that's what matters the
Ooh.
most. Oh, great web there as well. Doctor Strange trying to get the high ground against Penny, didn't quite work. Do have the Goddess of Death getting unleashed this time to at least do some damage, but doesn't get any picks. Great positioning that we're seeing from Maryville Academy. They'll completely back off, and the Penny is actually going to just go in, get people off the objective, see if they can focus down the squishy duelist as best as possible. Adam Warlock, though, 1v1 versus Hella. Need some combat training on that one because what it's going to be the one to save the day and send them backing.
Hand of Conchu gets dropped, denies the CYA, but it doesn't matter because, like you said, Tamu White are getting meticulously destroyed here. Maryville Academy win it as well, not ever needing to use the Karmic Revival. Math Maniac is going to be channeling this portal here, so even if Tamu White defeat this team once, you better believe Maryville Academy is going to respawn back in. Almost got the cancel, like you said. Ultimate comes down from Dremel. This is probably the first one we've seen from them this round. Meow Pow has channeled the It's Jeff. Final Judgment from Python Lord. Maybe he can do some damage. Asterix does take down Wild Duck in the process. Colt has used the Banhammer, but it doesn't matter. It's all looking at Maryville Academy. The kill feed is going all blue for them. As unfortunately for Tamu White, they do get about 60%. And when it says, hey, Karmic Revival for good measure, just in case somebody went down here. Didn't even need it. Didn't even need it.
That's what we saw happen there. I mean, this is such a tough spot to be in, right? I think it would have been a better option for Tamu White if they opted for defense themselves. It's typically what people do, especially on this map, because it wasn't their map pick, right? It was Maryville's. If you know someone's really good at this map, and they played Penny in the last map towards the end, you probably don't want to give them defense from the start. That's just my opinion. I think this one was also potentially lost in the ban and protect phase, right? Having the Adam Warlock available to Maryville Academy and a Penny who's really good at Penny Parker on this map just is the win condition for them. They don't even need to go super far. They just need a single tick, and they will get the map win and even up the series 1-1. So we'll see what happens this go around, but not a single elimination for Texas A&M White is a statement.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Now Maryville Academy, all they have to do is get it past the 60% mark, which is very, very doable for them. Are they going to go and run Adam on the offense, though? I don't really love this But again, it's having
Aura.
to eliminate them not once but twice is tough. I know it has the most aura skin as well, the galactic or galaxy version. It's so sick.
We do need like a what is it called? Basically, them to tell Guang Guang to give them the custom VFX, though. That's what we need. We need a petition. That's what I was thinking of the word for. So that we get that eventually. Because, yes, they do have their own wings now. They can fly. They can do everything else. But we need more aura for this hero.
I love how Winnet is just, like, challenging the other duelists.
Yeah,
like,
it's
no
great.
fear at all. Oh, and almost guesses on the right. That was a 1 in 3 chance that you just eliminate the Loki there immediately. I love this flying animation too. It's so silly. It's like so.
'Cause I think it's from
so
like
comic
the Iron
booky.
Man one that they kind of repurposed
Wait.
it a little bit.
Yeah, but it's so like comic booky. Is
Oh, it
gets
is,
hit.
yeah.
A wild duck is
Good backup.
yeah. Thought was gonna be able to take him out after that slept land, but fortunately, Maryville Academy have not found their way in just yet. They have not found. As I say that, oh man, does get res though, so it still is a 6v6 so far. Maryville Academy have the CYA available. They're gonna pop it immediately here. Dremel takes down a wild duck. S2J though had the final judgment in hand, but it gets immediately taken out. So Elixa has a visible boundary just for good measure. They are still holding on to the point here. Camu and White though need a TP, and unfortunately Mathmaniac just isn't there. I don't know if they're going to be able to contest
They're
before
not.
Maryville Academy are going to just take this.
And that is the struggle with just playing a straight up Doctor Strange and not having an option to portal once you are staggered and eliminated. I mean, we saw that happen in MRC this past weekend a couple of times where teams would be rocking the Doctor
Yeah.
Strange straight up and suffered for it. That's exactly what we saw happen here for Texas A&M White. I think another thing too, when you're running the Punisher, you kind of need a Magneto so you can bubble them when they are using their ultimate. That was the difference we saw between Maryville and Texas A&M, and why Asterix 15-0 MVP performance for Maryville. Yes, we saw some great looks from everyone else, but you know, they did a great job for their team as well, just keeping them alive, taking so much damage as well. 17k blocked without taking a single KO against themselves is massive, but that was a statement. Not a single KO in favor of Texas A&M White after dropping that first map and saying, hey, that was a fluke. We were messing around a little bit. Now we're locking in.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Tough luck to see that. 0 elims across the board here. Maryville Academy, very, very dominant around here. We did say domination is the most volatile, but you've got to win the convergence. You've got to win the convoy maps because that's what majority of what you're going to be playing in best of 5 series. So really good for Maryville. I mean, a perfect game pretty much, right? It's what we saw from them. So with that being said, because that was our second game vaudable, we are going to go to a very short break as we get both teams loaded in for game 3 on Convoy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back super shortly.
Something like it's colder when I'm older than I am. And I know you know that I have lost composure, but I'll hold you closer while I can. I never told you that I'm slightly broken, that I might lose focus when I am. I know you know that life gets colder when you're frozen over like I am.
maybe we saw some EOMM agents there, Shibby? No, we didn't. It was just a sweep that we saw. Basically perfect performance from Maryville Academy on their end. And it's actually going to be Museum of Contemplation. We were baited. I was thinking, oh, we're going back to Midtown for the 20th
Yes!
time. No, we're going to the newest map, but I love it. It's great. And hey, if you wanted to throw a team off who's used to the regular, who's used to most of the maps in the game, going to Museum of Contemplation is not a bad idea.
I'm so happy. I love this map. I genuinely
It's fun.
love this map. Its first 2 points are super dive heavy. A lot of close corridors. Moon Knight is very good here. This is also one of Groot's better maps as well. A lot of good spots where you can put the Ironwood
They
wall.
was
So I
never gonna
understand
let
why
that
they're.
through.
Yeah, it was never gonna come through here, unfortunately. Might be a penny, but penny's pretty good on point 1. Point 2 becomes a
Ooh, they
lot
knew the
harder.
ban was going to come out. They knew it.
Yeah, I like this from Maryville, saving the Atom. Atom has a lot of good red spots here as well because you can jump up onto some of those large buildings or large towers here. But Texas A&M have
Elsa.
saved the Elsa. Oh, this is a perfect Elsa map as well,
It's the
unsurprisingly.
map, yeah, like
Yeah.
especially towards that third point as well. That's where you see them in their hero announcement. Use the Glartrox, the Apex Predator, to send them off the edge immediately. So we'll see if there's any of that going to be coming through as well. Gambit immediately banned too. They don't want to have to worry about that as well. We've actually seen so much more Gambit being played though through MRC. A lot of teams opting to let it through and ban other things instead, and kind of go toe-to-toe with using a Gambit and a Rogue with that team up with Magneto as well, kind of as a synergy with all three of those. So still haven't seen that yet in the collegiate sphere, but they will get rid of Hella. They don't want to worry about Hella Namor at all, or just like more poke, because they're getting rid of we see no Ensong Inferno, there's no Phoenix, no poke.
Oh, there's the
and
penny.
they are going to go penny this time because it wasn't banned out.
Yeah, map
It's
one, but like
decent on
point
this
1 for this map. Yeah, point 1 specifically, it's very good. Point 2, it's a little bit tougher to make do unless you can really take control of those rooms that have those like weird windows or
'Cause if you
doors. I don't really know what
destroy
to call
put
them.
your web through and then it respawns, technically it still reaches outside of it, which is kind of
Yes.
crazy. So like the
Yeah,
little penny like mines go through it and everything too.
spider drones.
Banning
Yeah, spider drones.
the
go through.
Rocket Raccoon though, we saw a lot of usage out of the Cosmic Yard amplifiers before, and having that extra res, not having that on the table, I think is massive against Maryville.
Cloak and Dagger has been let through so far here, but Maryville Academy could ban it out, take it away with this final ban here, which I wouldn't mind. But instead, they're going to remove the Psylocke from Tamu's very own team. Yeah, again, the close corridors and stuff like that. I'm not super heavy on banning the Poke Sisters. I think Phoenix is a fine ban regardless of the map, but like unless you're
Hella's
really afraid of
not
like the
good.
Helen Namor.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Hella
unless
Namor,
you're, like-
yeah, I think that's mainly what it is to get rid of.
Yeah, but Tamu White have the option to go Magic Strange now, and Elsa is available as well. A lot of close quarter combats. And here is that Moon Knight that I talked about
True.
coming into fruition potentially, especially because you need to run it into what is going to be a triple support composition from Maryville Academy.
A shield.
I'm surprised on the
Oh, and there's the
defensive
Loki.
end we aren't seeing the triple. Typically you would,
Before you attack.
but instead we are seeing them go with the two Vanguards, the triple strategist, and the solo duelist instead on this end. Because if Elsa's available, you might as well play it.
100%. We'll see which Elsa is better. If we get to see some cool Elsa duels
Yep,
coming
here it
out from
goes.
both Python Lord and STJ. As yeah, there's the sneaky little mine placement there as well. Instead, they're gonna drop the mines around that barrier that you mentioned. Those spider drones, they can, like you said, go through that barrier and just eliminate whoever they want. See if these mines are actually gonna be able to get anything here though.
It doesn't look like they will. Unfortunately, no one's like backed into that corner yet, so I don't think they're gonna fall for it. Unfortunately, at this moment in time, they'll kind of easily walk past it.
Or
Would
an
have been
angle.
better maybe if it was closer to the wall, but I think they wanted it to be like if someone's backing off and doesn't quite know exactly where the door is, they fall into the trap. Unfortunately, didn't work out that time. Python Lord though does take out Perk. That does slow the roll of Texas A&M White a lot.
Yeah. That trap is so good against the dive that is Colt playing that Venom. It's really, really tough to play against, especially if your supports are playing around it. You drop it in the back for them. You playing these spider webs. Like, how do you even make this Venom really work without wanting him to, like, you know, hate his life here? As the first corner has not been turned yet, or like, technically it has if you count the spawn door one, but realistically this bend is the toughest one to get around, especially because of how long this hallway is and how much room the defensive side has to work with, as a Wild Duck does go down there.
I like Penny trying to get to the high ground up there too, where Perk was positioned with the Loki clone initially and using the lanterns to make sure that Cole could stay alive in the back line and force them to get off the objective at least a little bit.
Nice
this
pull.
positioning is working out pretty well, just get them around the corner, but unfortunately they lose possession of the cart right after that.
That's tough. I mean, like I said, I feel like it's really tough to make this Venom work. S2 Day does go down as well. Astrix playing that Magneto has nothing to fear. I mean, Dremel can just play off-site or off the cart here and just really look to say, hey, whenever my strategists are getting jumped on, I have webs, I have nests, I have everything that's needed here. Apex Predator comes in. It's a big one as well. So many members get caught in the jaws of the Glartrox and unfortunately get fed to Maryville Academy.
Feasting as much as they can on this first point, and unfortunately for Texas A&M White, you know, it seemed like they had a solid strategy picking a map that some teams might not be familiar with, but this map does work pretty well in the first point for a Betty Parker player, and just unleashing everything else to the other team. I mean, they still have the res available to them. They haven't had to use it once. I think like one member maybe has gone down. I don't even know if they've gotten any KOs, actually, now I'm thinking about it so far, but great positioning that we're seeing from Dremel. Honestly, more effectiveness than we saw before. Ivagomoto, they need to see if they can take out Dremel completely, but unfortunately they get trapped out instead, so Math Maniac can't really do too much against them. Finally, Astrix does go down. Spider Sweeper comes through this time, and there's the res from when it back into the fray again. You need to delete them in some capacity, and there's Loki who's got a mischief if they need it.
So Elixa is actually going to copy the invisible boundary, but unfortunately they get caught right outside the circle of healing. And Wild Duck's going to take a 1v1 with Winnet. I don't know if you want that. Dremel takes down Meow Pow, though. That's a support as Perk takes down Winnet in the background, but they're still contesting on this cart. Wild Duck, unfortunately. Oh my God. Texas A&M, though, are so close.
No, they were literally like less than a meter away from getting that next checkpoint, but they still give it up to Maryville Academy. They have not been able to eliminate Dremel this entire time. They do teleport back to the objective as well, just to get back into the fray for World Champ, because they know they need to lock this down. Somebody needs to touch, though. Portal does come through at the last moment. They do go from behind, but here's the Glock coming through from Python Lord, ready to get some damage with it and at least get a KO or two from whence they came, but unfortunately not enough just yet. Maryville Academy, one does drop down. Dremel finally KO'd, and we'll see if Colt can stay alive for now, but they get off the objective, and it will be Maryville Academy stopping it right before that first checkpoint.
Oh man, Tamu White almost had it there. There were 3 meters I saw. So close, but Maryville Academy, like you said, are able to stall out here. A nice Apex Predator takes them off of the point, and Astrix might be feeling himself just a little bit as he swapped over to that Thor.
This is rough for the side of Texas A&M White. Again, they still have one more map in the tank, potentially, depending on how things go, to turn things around into a map 5, but it doesn't bode well for them when this was their map pick entirely, and they could not even get that first checkpoint. Fortunate enough for them. I think the big thing that we saw with other teams before, and we actually saw at the start of Domination, is target acquisition, right? They're all focused on different things and weren't able to take down a single person until it was too late, and yes, we did see some great looks. We saw the ultimates come out from them, the Eye of Agamotto, able to stun enough people, and then eventually the Moon Knight also getting people outside of the invisible boundary from the Loki of Squirlixa. But even then, it just didn't snowball enough for them. They couldn't get 4 eliminations afterwards to project them forward to that first checkpoint. So They have to full hold, and we'll see what the strategy is this time, using the Mantis to see if the damage boost is enough to keep it going.
Old champ on the Jeff here, looking for some massive heats. You can take him off the map on that right side, or essentially in front of where Astrix is, though. Potentially looking to get some stuff done here. Mathmaniac, though, does have the counter, is on the Magneto, can bubble himself and another member, as well as use the Meteor M in case somebody gets, you know, wrapped up by that Jeff ult. It is a triple battle, this time triple support versus triple support. Different looks, though. Maryville Academy, like you mentioned, Adam, Invis, and Jeff, while Tamu White have something a lot more stock standard, the Loki, the Mantis, and the Cloak and Dagger right on top. Like you said, extra damage potentially for S2J. As I say that, though, Aztecs takes down Colt, and unfortunately Maryville Academy are walking Tamu White down.
Wow. Oh no, and the stagger onto the Mantis as well, not even getting the elimination till now.
Counter portal?
There might be a portal coming through. I don't think Dremela's going to try and counter at all. They are staggering even the Cloak and Dagger more so. And there will be a portal coming through at the last moment from Colt. But the problem is they needed to go sooner, and it doesn't even stop the cart. Nobody's on the objective. Finally, they do touch it for a second there, using the Loki Lanterns to maybe give them some invulnerability. It's Jeff, though, does come out from World Champ, seeing if they can get people off the objective with it. Trying to get a grab, but didn't get a single person in it from the portal. Went on the wrong side of it. No.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's fine. Zoning Jeff ultimate. Ultimately, Maryville Academy are going to take that with ease. 2.5 minutes left in the time bank. 1-0, and they're going to go up 2-1 in this best of 5 series. Only got to see 0.1 of Museum Contemplation. That is so anticlimactic. Like, I love that we got to see the map, but the fact that we only got to see the first section of it is criminal.
I think a big thing was the Elsa Protect did not work in their favor at all. I mean, they kind of got diffed on it, not going to lie. 17-1, 9 final hits from Python Lord, and that's kind of what we expect, though, right? With the team who's been doing that much better, typically does have a better Elsa, and that's what we saw here. I mean, it was banned every time, not for themselves, but just because they don't want to deal with it. Now, hey, they'll let it through. Protect Elsa again. Maryville Academy's happy about that, especially if it's a performance like that one.
Yeah, unfortunate. We'll see if Tamu White can dig deep into the bag. That does mean we go back to domination, though, because they did win that first map on Dom. So maybe, just maybe, we can see, you know, Maryville Academy taken to a Game 5 here. But I feel like Maryville Academy, like we said, kind of threw that first map a little bit. They got a little too stubborn on their hero picks. They stuck to the Phoenix and the Wolverine a little too much, as well as, you know, like you said, the fastball special, not really resulting in a lot of stuff here. Last Stand, not really resulting in too much here. So if they're willing to run that triple strategist composition again, but this time on domination, it's very tough to crack if you're Maryville Academy, because now Tamu White, they've got to try to find a solution to this puzzle. They tried to match it themselves with Mantis, Loki, and Cloak and Dagger, and I don't hate that particularly, but you've got to be on point with the damage boost as well as focusing down whoever is getting terror caped, and it just wasn't there.
We'll see what they could do to turn things around. They had some sparks of brilliance with, you know, how they were changing it up with the map, with the Bands of Protect phase, but the execution has been the struggle for this team. They have been scatterbrained, to say the least. They've been focusing on certain heroes, focusing on this person, individually having great efforts, but not working as a team in tandem when they need to. So hopefully for this next map, they can change that up and force a map 5. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough job for them, but we'll see.
Yeah, and with that, we are going to go to a very short break as we get everybody loaded into the domination map. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for a potential final game between Maryville Academy and Tamu White.
Welcome back, everyone. It's me and a ghost. Actually, Invisible Woman is casting from Shibby's booth currently, and they'll be back at some point in time, but we have a match ready for you all. So it's going to be a good time to see exactly how Maryville Academy faces off against Texas A&M White. Krakoa is going to be our map for this one. Domination, is this the final one, or will Dom go the way of Texas A&M White? Again, we'll see if that happens. For their sakes, I hope it does, and we do get that map 5 spectacle that we've been hoping for, but who knows? We at least got more of a longer series than the last couple that Chibi and I have casted together, so this will be a fun one to say the least. I'm really more interested to see what the Bands of Protects are going to be for them, so we'll have to see what the strategy is going to be from Texas A&M White. Again, last time we saw them let the Elsa through, I don't think they're going to do that again after how it went last time. Now looking forward, we saw, the Doctor Strange be protected or banned from either side before. A couple different options that they can go for on that one. Moon Knight hasn't really worked in their favor either. Maybe the Hella Protect could work for them. The biggest problem for Texas A&M, I would say, is that Phoenix ban, and that's going to just continue because it's been working every single time. Well, now we're getting into the ban and protect phase this go around, and Adam Warlock will be banned out first, which might mean that we see a Groot save on the side of Maryville Academy. It doesn't work as well on Krakoa, I will say, especially with those wide open areas. A lot harder to stay sustained at that go around, but yeah, there we go. There's the Groot save. It's been banned every time before now, and for good reason. There's a very good Groot player on the side of Maryville Academy, so they'll lock that in when it's available to them. I'm more curious to see what Texas A&M are going to be logging into this time for their protect side of things. And Gambit has got to be played. What is happening? You might as well throw everything out the window because we never fold on this broadcast with Texas A&M White. I wonder if we're going to be seeing some rogue action as well. Maybe a Magneto ban on the other side. Yeah, their sword isn't as effective, but yeah, if you're going to be playing Gambit, you don't want to play against Star-Lord because of how effective that ultimate is. Though, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Punisher again from Maryville Academy. Gambit Punisher as ultimate works pretty well. They don't want Gambit Loki, which makes sense. So why they get rid of that completely off of the table. But Elsa's still on there. I wonder if they lock it in or even play it at all on this map itself. A couple different options that they can go for that too. But even then, Texas A&M White, I think they have won the mind game, the mind battle with their opponents by locking in this Gambit. Will be kind of easier to deal with the Penny, in my opinion, with that, especially because, the damage boost that you can get from it, the cleanse that you have as well available to you. So many different cards in your hand, no pun intended, for a Gambit being available to Texas A&M White. Now it comes down to what they lock in at this go around. Will it be a strategist that they focus on? No, it's going to be Punisher. They're going Punisher Gambit themselves. I mean, Python Lord showed you how it was done on Punisher before. I don't know why you expect them not to do the same thing here. Getting rid of the Magneto too, so they can just play it straight up. Yikes. So they're going full in on the Punisher Gambit combo. Maryville Academy. And they're probably just going to play this exact same thing. Maybe with a Groot just in the way, but we'll see what the objective is there. Elsa is banned, though. They know they can play it themselves, but they don't want it to be available at all. Is that Math Maniac playing a Spider-Man? Are we just having fun swinging around here? And I believe Chibi is back in time here and now, as we do have Math Maniac on the Doctor Strange. We have Colt actually rocking the Groot, and Gambit is on the table, Chibi.
Yeah, my bad. I had a trip to the time stream. Unfortunately, I'm back.
The time stream toilet, yeah.
The time stream toilet there, unfortunately. Yeah. Just a word of advice. Intake fiber slowly, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Intake fiber slowly.
Oh, man. Well, Dremel's actually going to be using the Vanguard pool this time. Why it on the Hawkeye? What are these compositions, man?
I kind of mess with the Hawkeye. I mean, we saw the aim that when it had on the Atom. I'm sure it's transferable. Also, having like a pseudo poke composition, especially because Vanguard pool, you've heard a lot of people say he can fit any kind of team composition. You want to play poke? Okay, you've got Desert Eagles for poke. You want to play dive? Okay, you've got katanas for dive. You want to brawl? Okay, we'll just pop in your area, and we can either choose to Desert Eagle them down, or Katana, or both. So, yeah, Vanguard pull is insanely flexible here. Wild Duck and Colt, though, also rocking the group Moon Knight, the combo there. As we do see, like you mentioned, Gambit has been let through with no Loki available.
Yeah, Loki immediately banned after the Gambit was unleashed, which makes a lot of sense. Also that they focused on the Atom first instead did allow the group to be played by Asterix. And they were getting banned for a reason. We've seen how effective they are on that hero. The Mecha Groot costume, love it as well. Being rocked this time. Unfortunately, Math Maniac, maybe not the game to be playing a shield tank, in my opinion.
Wennet is on BP, by the way.
No shot.
Well, keep the camera on him. Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Keep the camera on this. I want to see how clean this guy's BP is. How fast he is schmoving. Because you don't just pick BP for the sake of BPing. This guy wants to schmoove here. I want to see if he can get the ghost dashes down, or if he's gonna go spear dash spear. He's gonna go double spear. Like, what's gonna happen here? Oh man.
Nothing. Nothing.
I'm sad.
Hey, they got the high
I'm
ground
so
again,
sad.
and we'll probably see them eventually do something. They got a lot of their ultimate charge, though, which is important, and I think that's what they're going to be focusing on again. They did buff that recently, making it a little bit better, so you don't take as much damage while you are using it, which is huge, but there's so many better options.
Oh, we missed
They'll
it!
won it with a double on the back line. Colt and a Wild Duck do get vanquished. They're distracted by Dremel in the front line, and they were not looking for the sneak attack.
Yeah, and Moon Knight is a very sneaky dive enabler, right? The amount of damage that they can put down along with the Ankh plus the ricocheting bullets, like, it really helps dive heroes out if you can just get those extra ticks of damage going. Wow, the BP or the Psylocke or the Magical, whatever you're playing, is putting damage down as well. Confirming those eliminations is crucial, and Maryville Academy have had a stranglehold on this. As Gambit will be refusing to fold here as Final Judgment comes in here, but unfortunately gets taken down. But a big Eye of Agamotto on top of the Raging Royal Flush is going to give Tamu White their first fight win of the round.
Okay, I respect it.
Wait a minute, I may have spoken too soon. Oh my god, he's moving!
Almost saw Wennet do some crazy stuff there. Unfortunately, not enough, but it does stop them from getting percentage, which was massive. Stalled them out at like an extra 2 or 3 percentage. Almost got to the 99 that they wanted for overtime. So close, but not just enough. Wennet really just being such a nuisance to Texas A&M White, which is exactly what you want to see. And honestly, not as strong of a hero once they're on the objective, but if we see any flanking come out, that might be the time for Wennet to strike.
Fast available here in about 4%. We also got Hand of Conchu, Asterix as well. Strangling Prison available. That combo deadly. Yeah, it's the bread and butter as Tamu White's actually going to drop it before, but with Gambit being in the game, it gets immediately cleansed. Asterix does get taken down, though. Python Lord as well, so you have to wait. As Wennet being a nuisance on the backline once again.
Yeah, just goes to show that you need to deal with the Gambit first before you pop it, and unfortunately they had not done it at that point in time, so easily escaped. And speaking of escaping, Dremel perfectly dips out through the portal and says, see you later.
Yeah, very well played. Now the combo in favor of Maryville Academy. 5 ultimates available. All get dropped here. Hand of Conju drops on the Meow Pal. I have Agamotto, though. Doesn't land. Actually lands onto 4. Never mind. I thought I got blocked. But unfortunately, there is no follow-up. Final Judgment available in about 20% here. But it might be too little too late. S2J caught on the wrong side of this fight. And Maryville Academy are going to take map 1 here for Krakoa and move on to Carousel.
Ouch. That's all I got to say. Ouch. But we did see this before, right, Shibby? Where Maryville took the first point and then the rest of it did not go their way. But
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's time for some dry Namor when you're dealing with a Black Panther like this. That's my opinion. It just doesn't feel like for a Wild Duck and Colt that the combination's working, right? Not a single final hit from the Moon Knight here. One from Python Lord, but most effectiveness has been from Wennet. Just dealing with the backline. Not a single KO against them.
Deja vu.
Well, the
I teamed up with a
thing
guy
is,
who
Maryville Academy has also had really good control of
Yeah.
that point. Like they didn't, they actually took a very, little amount of fights. I think there was 3 overall. Really, if you think about how many 6v6s there were, one of those being dominated by Tamu White. At that 75-80% mark after they stacked all their ultimates. But Maryville came back at 98% with 6 ults ready to go. Fortunately, they did have to use pretty much all of them. The only one that is available now is the Raging Royal Flush, which actually, if you look at it, is one-sided. Perk 9% right now. If they are tracking this, World Champ and specific...
Could happen. See what goes on. Eternal Bond comes through. Gambit with the Raging Royal Flush themselves. Combination, it looks like there's a Banhammer that comes out as well. Didn't quite see who that was put on. Might have been useful if they did put it onto the Punisher, but unfortunately for them, they were unable to. So good looks for Texas A&M White getting that early percentage again.
Yeah, good final judgment coming in from Tamu White. And Wild Duck has the Namor ult available. Astrix does have Strangling Prison, and we see Python Lord 10% away from Hand of Khonshu. That's going to come in really quickly, but Swirlixia dies!
Yeah, right before she can use the Invis ultimate. It's a tough spot to be in here for Maryville Academy.
Whoa!
Before Bass does come through, doesn't get anyone though that time. It does enable Meow Pow to get eliminated that go around as well though, so not getting credited, but still doing enough damage and distraction for them to get onto the objective, and barely getting out of dodge. Finally does it get KO'd for the first time, and Maryville Academy doing what they can, trying to see if they can stay alive, and no, couldn't even use the ultimate at the last second to stay on the objective. So close.
Your team's capture progress has passed the
Python Lord trying to take down Strange and company. They will win that fight eventually. Oh, as I say that though, they're still trying to stall. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. Does get out though. Nice fade coming in from Meow Pow. That would have been devastating if they ended up getting staggered there. Maryville Academy though, double strategist ultimates available. And again, another one-sided Raging Royal Flush. But last time they did that, Final Judgment was used and completely countered any sort of offensive Maryville Academy was hoping to get out of it.
See when the Sai of Agamotto comes through, and if it's effective, it's going to be the big thing for this team. There is going to be the Raging Royal Flush coming out on the other end, though, from World Champ. I have Agamotto.
Oh!
3. Massive one for that, but they need conversions from it. When it does get one pick onto Meow Pow and really shuts everything down, a triple to their name, snipes everyone.
They landed the Eye of Agamotto onto Swirlixa. They landed on the 3 members. Half of Maryville Academy was stuck in the time stone, and nobody went down. That's a big drop of the ball from Tamu White there, as now Colt has swapped over to the Venom, and S2J, the Psylocke that was banned 3 maps in a row, is finally unleashed.
Tough spot to be in. I believe they also got cleansed during that fight too, because the Gambit, so not exactly what you want to see. Tamu White cannot turn up as much as they would like against this Maryville Academy roster. Now they're even staggered more so. Gambit, 10 seconds to wait till they can get back into the fight. Maybe one more available to them. We'll see if Colt can actually get like a last second touch of some sort, but objective is almost Maryville Academy's, as Galactus says pretty aptly, and makes them put the pedal to the metal, but they don't really have too many resources to work with.
Raging Royal Flush available for Tamu White. 50% on both of Maryville Academy's support ultimates. So they should win this fight as long as they don't go down too early. Final Judgment layered on top of the Raging Royal Flush. When it does pop the Hunter's Mark, but it's not enough. Python Lord waiting in the wings with this Hand of Khonshu. Can drop it, can be the difference maker. Sees a wild Psylocke behind and takes her out!
Massive from Python Lord there, but they do get dropped before they can use the Moon Knight ultimate themselves. The percentage will still stay in favor of Texas A&M White. They know that they need to hold things down for now. Feast of the Abyss available for Colt here. If they can get the Gambit before they can get their ultimate, that would be a massive pick. I think they're just trying to stall ahead of objective as much as possible and see if that will be enough to keep them off of it. But a tough spot to be in because you have so much percentage to make up for Tamu, and then again you have OT afterwards because the 99% had already been activated by your counterparts.
Ooh, messing up a little bit on the wall. Colt, what do we? Yo! Okay, we have the Feast the Abyss plus the combo available. Doesn't take anybody out. When it on the backside does take Wild Duck. That's your Duelist going down. Dance of the Butterfly comes in into the invisible boundary. That's going to get healed up expeditiously. So Elixa, as we said, pop that boundary. Python Lord drop the Hand of Contu, and it doesn't matter because Maryville Academy and Asterix specifically is going to pick up multiple members. S2J does have something to say about it. Is trying to put it into overtime. A Wild Duck has the TP. They swapped over to the Doctor Strange. We're in for another fight.
Trying desperately to hold on to the objective for the last moment. Actually, Colt going on to the Thor as well. Gambit getting focused here by the Vanguard.
Wait a minute!
They do go down for a second, but the rest of the team
Another
still needs
portal!
a counter portal comes through from World Champ to stay on the objective to see if they can focus down the last members of Texas A&M. Triple before Bass does come through from Wennet. One goes down. Swirlixa, she gets a double herself, and Gambit, even with the Royal Flush, is not enough to get onto the objective at the last moment. And it will be Maryville Academy, gentleman sweeping, spaceman sweeping, whatever you want to call it here, towards the end, getting the victory. Drops the first map, but doesn't drop anything else from then on out to win the series.
Looked dicey at the end, and when it on the Black Panther never faltered, never swapped, never changed, didn't really need to. 22-3 Vaudable, and the hero, I would say, of that final point fight there. 11 final hits for themselves as well. That's exactly what you want to see out of your dive player there. Very, very well played to Maryville Academy. A dominant performance from these 6 members here. Whew. Like you said, gentleman sweep coming in as well. It could have been a 3-0 if they didn't drop that first map a little bit and they didn't really kind of
They locked in.
get too stuck in their ways. They locked in. They said, you know what? We were supposed to 3-0. Coach whipped them into shape, said, hey, this is not what Maryville is used to. This is not what Maryville. Yeah, cannot be dropping maps here. That's not acceptable. Play like you mean it. Play serious, and that's exactly what they did. Very well played to Maryville Academy. Like you said, Vaudable, they had already locked their playoff spot here, but that's just going to give them a higher seed potentially
5-0
as
now.
we head. Yeah, 5-0 potentially could go the undefeated regular season, as next week is the final week before playoffs. Unfortunately for Tamu White, I believe they fall to 2-3 or no, 2-4.
2-4, yeah, that's what they fall to, unfortunately, on there. And so I think because of that, they will likely be eliminated from playoff contention, depending on how some shenanigans go, depending on those final placements in that last week. A couple of them still have more matches to play, but it's been a great time to be here with you, Shibby, and our production crew in the background as well. We have CS2 and Rocket League tomorrow, League of Legends on Thursday, and Overwatch without the 2 on Friday as well. Any final thoughts from you, Shibby, before we send things away for another week of action?
Relatively short day for us, Vaudable. I mean, no game 5s, nothing like that, but ultimately still a lot of fun in the Marvel Rivals action. Like we said, final week of the regular season is next week. You'll be getting CB and Keg, and then you'll be getting me and Vaudable for the first week of playoffs in Marvel Rivals NECC action. I think you did a good job closing us out. That's been me. That's been you. I really appreciate always sharing the mic with you on NECC and casting some Marvel Rivals collegiate action.
Thank you to our production crew in the background as well. We have Ramen, Adam, and Reachstat who helped us with production today. But that's all the time we have for the show. We'll see you with some more Marvel Rivals action next week.